Flame on! How's everybody doing tonight? I'm here with my special guest, Nick Lenz. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
And welcome once again to another stream. And I know this one's going to be a double feature. Today, we're going to, at least as far as we can, go through September and October DC solicitations.
Yep.
All right, give me while I'm pulling up the link for the September stream. For the September solicitations. Some of these, Nick, do you want to give a quick plug or a recap for what you got coming out so far?
I just got some interviews. I just started yesterday. I got through a few episodes of this show today. I did find out that the season 2 of this is coming out in October. Is campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. Very weird anime this one is, where a guy gets summoned with a bunch of heroes, and his unique skill is online grocery, which means he can buy food and cook it. A whole lot of food, and he gets gets out with a party. He gets to he gets two familiars. First, a Fenrir and slime. And his Fenrir is this giant wolf with red claws, which are not blood. His fur is actually red. And he's voiced by Jonas Scott, which is so funny. He's apparently he got interested because he loved the smell of his food. Yeah, I found this to be so enjoyable. Hi, Cameron. Looks like Nemo Strange is here. And Neji's here too.
How's everybody doing so far? I know this was a little spontaneous, but I appreciate you all commenting and joining us.
Yep. I see Nightwing. I see Jessica Cruz, Wallace West, Soup Boy, John Kent before he was aged up, Dreamer, and Damian Wayne, Robin. Speed Racer.
Some of these you've already seen clips or imagery already. Some of these might actually sprinkle over into the October solicitation, but I'll just go ahead and bring this up now. I'm not a fan of some of the new Bat Family designs. The Red Hood one with his team up with Huntress. The Tim Drake one just feels like it's just trying to ride off nostalgia with it being a callback to his 03 Teen Titans suit. And really it's more akin to his post Infinite Crisis suit with the darker red, but you get what I'm trying to say. And Damien's, it's not too bad.
This will be his third costume in 10 years.
Yeah. I'm just not a fan of the hockey pads. The hockey pads are just what ruins the look for me.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bat suit. It looks odd. Like they made the underwear that's inside of his tights. They made it smaller for some reason. The bat looks similar to when Scott Snyder basically drew him, but without the yellow outside. Actually, what Scott said was Greg Capullo, but when Scott Snyder wrote the character. And the fact that the front of it looks like a big, it's like something. Yeah, I did hear about this fact. This is going to be the relaunch. Now, it was recently, about a couple months ago, that the current issues were delayed by a month because of Jim Lee's lateness. This might not come out in September. It's a maybe because of the delay. They could double up. Who knows? But that depends on DC Comics. Matt Fraction is an interesting choice to write this book. What do you think?
Yeah, Matt Fraction. I'm sorry, I'm probably lagging on my end. But Matt Fraction, I've seen some of his work, but he's definitely an unknown in my eyes. I've seen a little here and there, but he's definitely a wait and see in my mind.
Yeah, for a lot of people, usually the first book comes to him is, of course, but the one here is Hawkeye. that's one they put first. He also had a run for Iron Man that lasted for years. So yeah, it was a very interesting run for Iron Man. He also did Thor for a couple years. He never did Cap. I don't think he did Avengers book that I could think of, any of the main Avengers books.
Didn't he do an Ant-Man run, or was that somebody else?
That was Nick Spencer.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think Fraction, prior to this, he, aside from Simmons, Cloud, Timmy Olsen, he did a little bit with this company. But Matt Fraction is, so I'd say he's new to DC, even though he did a little bit with them before then, like some books here and there. But he's not big with DC. He was more big with Marvel.
Also, how do you feel about the DC? It's not going to be as good as the one in the 90s. So let's not jump to any conclusion or get high expectations. That if the Marvel is, I feel like this is just going to be a one and done gimmick, and trying to boost numbers. Really, Marvel needs this crossover more than DC does, because DC, especially with the Absolute line, they've just been banking in momentum post COVID.
Yep.
On the comic side of things, so I would argue Marvel needed this crossover more than DC did, which is pretty ironic, because leading to the Amalgamverse, it was a opposite juxtaposition.
Yep.
This was after the comics, not the comic collector, the comic clash of 1991, and Marvel nearly went bankrupt. I want to say this was the Amalgam crossover was around that time. The Avengers.
Yeah, it was the specular boom.
The specular boom. Thank you.
Yes.
And then it crashed around 1991.
Crashed, not 91. It was more crashed like 95, 96.
Thank you for clearing that up for me, Nick. But yes,
the 90s basically was actually fine for both Marvel and DC. But I think it was like just in 92, that's when Image started up, and Image has been running since then. Now, I should point out, though, when it comes to the whole thing of Batman #1, this is the first #1 that Batman's had in 9 years.
Yep. Since Rebirth. Since Rebirth.
That was 2016. We're in 2025. It really has 9 years. But the only reason why people think it might be longer, given the fact that the most recent volume has had published over 160 issues. That's the only reason, because, and the only reason why it did that is because DC doubled the books. They did this a few times where they put out like 2 books a month.
Yeah, they were bi-weekly for the longest time.
Yes. As for why DC did with Batman, simple. It sells. That's why people want Batman. Here you go.
Then Detective Comics went monthly, and it just fell off. It just fell off after Ram V's run. I'm sorry. It's still, in my mind, slowly back up after that.
Now, I don't mind this being $5 because it's 40 pages. That's actually a good price for a 40-page comic book. It's well worth it. It's double-sized issue. It's the first, like I said, first #1 in 9 years. Not 10, 9 years. Of course, you have Jorge Jimenez on the art, the main interior and the cover. Something a lot of people are not fans of when he had the cover isn't the same person as the interior. Variant covers by Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, J. Scott Campbell, Frank Quitely, Gable Delito, Julian Tito Tecito, and variant covers by Adam Kubert, David Aja, freaking Columbia Matt Fraction, Stanley Algram Liu, and another cover of Jorge Jimenez. Interesting choice to put Jorge Jimenez on the artwork for this one, because people do love the guy's artwork. So at least DC basically put artists people do like. Yes, there is the redesign of the bat suit. Fine. But it's a new bat suit. Batman goes to bat suits all the time.
As a new day dawns for the Dark Knight detective, as Eisner Award-winning writer Mac Fraction from Hawkeye, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, joins forces with superstar artist Jorge Jimenez from Batman, the Summer of Superman special, for an unforgettable new era of Batman. The best superhero in comics gets a brand new first issue to kick off this new era that will test Batman and Bruce Wayne like never before.
And that is actually accurate statement. Jorge Jimenez is a superstar artist. I do agree with that.
Before we move on, I'm just gonna say the quiet part out loud. This is dripless. This is hot garbage.
At least Huntress looks fine.
Okay, I'm
Huntress, yeah,
no, no.
Huntress starts sporting this slightly new attire. It was not during Ram V's run. She started sporting this variant look during when Marco Tomakagi was wearing the title.
No, I got nothing against Huntress's design. I'm talking about Jason specifically.
Yeah, like, what is up with the mask? He's supposed to be Red Hood. Where's the hood? Oh, because it's an actual hood, not the freaking helmet he's worn for like 20 years.
And not even so much the suit. It's just like I said, it is dripless. There's no iconography to it. Hold on. Am I gonna have to go for this every time? But to make it a long story short, you had I know it wasn't the best design in the world, the one from Rebirth and Red Hood and the Outlaws, but but at least it was a decent design. You could actually tell it was Jason.
And plus, his gun looks different too.
And not even. I don't care. I don't care if they try. Look, I'll let the story speak for itself. But there was really no reason to change Jason's design.
Yeah, especially since he's had the same suit. I think he did receive an update when the book became Red Hood Outlaw.
Briefly, but it was so minor you would have barely noticed it.
Yeah.
The only difference.
I think this is his fourth title that he's ever had, because first it was Red Hood Lost Days, then he had Red Hood and the Outlaws Volumes 1 and 2. There's Red Hood Arsenal 3, Red Hood of the Hill. This is the fifth title for Red Hood.
Yeah, fifth solo book. But yeah, I forgot. Around DCL Lane, he did have like a little mini series that got. Was it a mini series or did it get canceled?
Yeah, it was a mini series. It was basically a continuation of issues 51, 52, which, weirdly enough, those two issues written by the guy who actually wrote his mini series, which were finally collected in trade paperback because DC, for some weird reason, decided to skip the last two issues of Red Hood Outlaw. So, Gretchen Flecker Martin. I have no idea who the heck this person is. Do you?
Complete unknown to me, in my opinion. Now, if you in the comments, you in the chat have seen their work, please let us know.
Jeff Spooks, another person. I don't know who this person is. I do know who the rest of some people are. Jim Lee, Brian Ballard, Jay Lee. Who does not know who these three are? Kun Yum, Nick Rubles, Jim Lee. Well, these two variant covers. Brian Ballard, legendary comic artist. Who does not know who he is? Like, the first comic comes to mind, Killing Joke.
Yep.
Jay Lee, well, he had a tendency to draw characters like Asians, but he has a very distinctive art style. Jim Lee, who has not heard of Jim Lee, especially since he's co-publisher of DC Comics now, and now he's doing variant covers after doing the interiors for Batman for a while. Okay, Jason Todd has a Gotham Batman behind him. All he's taken is his costume, his bike, and a mail briefcase containing his two handguns, which look different from his last run for some weird reason, and lots of bullets. New Anaclick seems to be a perfect place for her to put down the roots. There's crime, vice, and corruption everywhere. When Jason discovers a superpowered serial killer who's targeting city police, he finds himself sucked into terrible, bleak conspiracy with sibling own insight. But Jason's the only person in the scene. Finally shows Helen Bertinelli, aka the Huntress. Is she here to stop him or help him? What will happen when the two black sheep of the Batman families are working together? Get ready for Red Hood like you wanted to see him. Okay, this is basically DC just basically using the same formula they used for Nightwing. And they give it Jason Todd too, for some weird reason. I mean, does that sound like Dick Grayson when you with the Bloodhaven?
This sounds more like an Agent 37 or Grayson story. Wait, this is very similar to this. Helena even made her was it her? No, New 52 debut. Yeah, Helena.
52 in the pages of Grace. Actually, it was in Nightwing 30. but she became Huntress in the Nightwing Reaper special.
Okay, but she did work with Grayson in the Grayson series.
Yes, she was his partner, and then in the Nightwing book they slept together, just like it did in pre-Flashpoint 2, but it was only once and never did again. And it's $4.99 for 32 pages. I'm like, DC Comics, please stop with the $4.99 thing for 32 pages. Like, I could think it's a brand number one. You could, I don't know, charge $3.99. That's a lot more reasonable than $4.99. I know we tend to harp on this a lot, but this has been an issue with DC Comics for like the whole time we're doing these solicits, is they charge way too much for these titles.
At least I can
are selling like crazy.
Say what you will about Rebirth being objectively nostalgia bait, but at least you were getting $3.99 an issue.
Yes. I mean, I can't think of a single book that was above that price.
Except maybe events or tie-in issues here and there, but just about most book in the Rebirth line was $3.99.
Some people could blame this on inflation. I would not blame this on corporate greed when it comes to DC Comics. I more blame this on inflation. They probably have to charge that price. They probably love to charge $29, but they probably have to because some things cost so much nowadays. Though I know our president is trying to fix that. He's trying his damnedest, despite some people in the government wanted to stop him from doing it because they want their damn money. But at least he's trying, despite what people say about him, at least he's doing what he's actually said he's doing. Moving on politics.
Amazing Spider-Man charged $10.
They did that twice. They did that twice.
Wait, $10. Wait, is Zeb Wells still on the book?
The first two times they did it is when I think when Slott. I think first time was when Slott did it. When Slott was in the book, it was after Clone Conspiracy. The second time was after Hunted. They did the same thing for that one. They did not do the same thing for the current volume. That was regular price.
Is Zeb Wells still currently on the Amazing Spider-Man? No. Okay, he's been gone.
He's been gone since early this year. Actually, like last year he left, and pretty much all they did was kept Joe Casey on, and they decided to launch. And the book is still not good, honestly. I'm like, you bring a good writer, Joe Casey, but you give him nothing to work with.
The script is crap.
It's like Marvel is like, the readers love Spider-Man.
They do.
The editorial does not give a damn. I mean, Amazing Spider-Man, one of the longest running titles. And yet they don't care to put out a good damn story because the editor of the book is a complete moron.
Either that or notoriously petty.
I'm like, get over it, Nick Lowe. Nick Spencer left your company because he wanted to be with his friends. Get over it. 3 years have gone past it. You apparently can't get past it at all. Look, Zeb Wells is not a terrible writer. What happened with Amazing Spider-Man was not entirely his fault. I'm going to put the blame on Nick Lowe for that. Not Zeb.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I blame Nick Lowe, not Zeb Wells. And for some weird reason, they decided to have him do the Batman Deadpool one-shot. Did you see that?
I did.
I'm like, you have a Batman Deadpool one-shot. You could have, I don't know, picked a writer who wrote both freaking books. Zeb Wells, as far as I can tell, never wrote a bad book. The only time he wrote Deadpool was when he guessed on some title he wrote. I mean, you could have picked Gary Duggan. That would have been fine. He's written both characters. That would have been perfect. Okay, is that supposed to be Scarecrow?
I believe so.
Did you see the new Catwoman design for Absolute Batman?
I did. It looked a little too close to Mysterio. I don't know why they're going for the whole glass head vibe. But
yeah, kind of weird. Some people thought it was like a Power Ranger. Chuck Dixon brought it up on Twitter feed. It's like, Is Scott Snyder do this on purpose by having his artist draw the classic Bat villains as to give the most bizarre looks possible? Like giving Bane a small head. That was the first one he basically complained about, and then actually first he put the bat suit, this suit, and then he put Bane, now Catwoman. All right.
But yeah, I would say if I had to focus on the absolute book so far, I rank them as absolute Wonder Woman, absolute Batman, absolute Superman, then Flash, then Green Lantern. I'm sorry, absolute Green Lantern is still kind of a slow burn for me. I I might receive it better on trade paperback, but going from issue to issue, yeah, it's just too much of a slow burn.
Yeah. Which I'm still waiting when Kelly Thompson can explain where the heck Wonder Woman got her tribal tattoo she's got on her arm, which she's always been tattooless for years.
Absolute Batman issue number 12, written by Scott Snyder, art and interiors, cover and interiors by Nick Dragata, variants by Paul Pope and Dennis Cohen, 1 by 25 variant by Stefan Subic and Paul Pope on the 1 by 50 variant. $4.99 for 32 pages. Okay, that's decent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those variants by Dennis Cohen. He is an old school comic artist. If you look at basically his work, one of his best known comics he worked on Danny and Neil's Question book. He was the artist for all 36 issues of that book, including both annuals.
Batman is at the mercy of the monstrous Bane, and though his body has seen better days, his mind and spirit are still strong. But how much longer can that withstand Bane's brutal onslaught?
And it looks like you have a reprint of the first issue of that cover.
Yep. But before with DCWIP, get up close with personal with the stunning original artwork. Okay, this is this is the inks. This is a re-release of the inks, which where there's no color. This is pure black and white.
Yeah, because I think the book is around for like a year now.
Absolute Superman, not gonna lie, I didn't expect Ra's al Ghul as a Superman villain in any capacity. I understand the League of Assassins. I understand Lazarus and the League of Assassins. But I thought they were going to save Ra's for a direct Absolute Superman Batman crossover when he fights Ra's.
I kind of predicted Ra's should be in the book because of the Lazarus Corporation.
Like I said, I thought it was just going to be for lore building, and then they would make a little Absolute World's Finest as they take the fight to Ra's al Ghul.
Man, he looks so beefy in this cover.
Yeah, like seriously, this is badass.
And he's got a tattoo too.
What is up with Darkseid and tattoos?
I have no idea. It's weird. I mean, does it look like a tribal tattoo to you that he has?
It does.
I mean, this is a man supposed to be immortal. He has a tattoo on him.
Written by Jason Aaron, art and cover by Rafa Sadoval, variants by Jay Lee and Jeff Spokes, 1 by 25 by TK, 1 by 50 by Carl Kerschel, $4.99 for 32 pages. Nick, you want to take this one?
For 5 years, he's been on the run, hounded across our planet, treated like a criminal. Yet his only crime was being born somewhere else. Now so much rage engulfed the world at the urging of Ra's al Ghul. And the only way we can save the day are Kal-El's dead parents. They adopt the parents or biological parents? That's a good question there. And look, it's Wonder Woman, her travel tattoo.
Yep. I will say one
absolutely. She was going to have a story explaining that. I'm hoping soon because, well, I'm sure she's going to explain it soon because and she's the best person to ask about it because I first saw this tattoo. I'm like, why does one of them have a travel tattoo? She's been inkless for years, and now she's got this tattoo. But that variant cover, That second variant cover there, that kind of looks like in Universe 101 a little bit.
It
Reminds me of
does.
Dark Knight of Steel.
Probably a similar art style.
Yeah.
But I will say this: Absolute Wonder Woman is received a lot better than Tom King. Not that I'm not hating on Tom King. I'm just saying the Absolute Kelly Thompson's run's better received overall.
Mm-hmm. Episode 112, written by
Hold
Kelly
on.
Thompson, art cover by Heldon Sherman, variant cover by Marco Alfredo Yasoperi, who also has a 1.5 variant cover, and Mateus Mahanti. Be careful with what Diana, you might get it. What is surprising, not unwelcoming ally, that makes the final moves into the maze. But even in winning day, will be devastating losses to bear. Okay. Next looks like the absolute Green Lantern book. I think this is focused on Frontier Lantern and I think Hal. I think there's Focus Characters book in that mistaken.
Joe Mullen and Hal,
Yeah.
who's already paralyzed for some reason.
Yeah, that's weird.
Absolute Green Lantern issue number 6, written by Al Ewing, variant and art and interiors by Janoy Lindsay. Apology if I mispronounced that. Variants by Juliet Neca and Mike Del Mundo. 1 by 25 variant by Nicholas Draper Ivy, and 1 by 5 variant by Juliet Neca. So Juliet gets 2 variants, but only 2 of these. Okay.
What is
But
short?
Joe Mullen. Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind.
Yeah, it's
They're
like
right
two
here.
sentences. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
these
two
are
sentences.
awfully short.
Yeah, it is.
Joe Mullen and Hal Jordan face judgment, but what will the Lantern's verdict be?
Weirdly enough, this absolute flash book, I remember quickly, it's focused on Wally, but Jay Garrick is in the book. I think Barry is not the Flash in this book, correct?
No, it's Wally West in the Absolute. Barry
Yeah.
was a lab assistant who helped Wally get his powers, but he was killed off in Absolute Flash issue 3. I want to say it could have been 2, but I want to say it was issue 3 where
And
Absolute
Jay
Barry was.
Garrick is kind of like a principal, or at least basically like a big mentor to Wally, because he's in the book very heavily.
Absolute Flash issue number 7, written by Jeff Lemire. His JSA run is okay. It's not as good as Jeff Johns, but it's okay. Written by Jeff Lemire, art by Travis Moore, cover by Nick Robles or Robles. I want to
Rebels.
say Rob Lees. Apologies if I
Mhm.
mispronounce it. Variant covers by Inuk Lee and Hanning. Variant 1 by 25 variant by Christian Ward. Definitely good artwork with him. 1 by 50 variant by Lee. And a lot of these books are $4.99 now. Seriously.
Yeah. Wally
Wally. Go ahead, Nick.
Wally's desperate for some food. When its efforts eat the land in him in hot water with the rogues falling get their hands on an intrepid speedster. It felt like there was a typo there. To eat the land in him? That makes no
His
sense.
efforts to eat lands him in hot water, will the rogues finally get their hands on the intrepid speedster? I think there's supposed to be an S in land. Whoever did the solicitation for this article, I don't know if they outsourced it, but this was clearly rushed.
Yeah. Superman.
No, it's actually an event comic, but I want to say this is a tie-in for the event. So we get a little late in the year for an event comic, but hey.
It is Superman.
Yep, Superman issue number 30, written by Joshua Williamson. Oh, he's coming back for this. Art and cover by Dan Mora, variants by David Aja, Ariel Olivetti. and Claudio Castellini. Apologies if I mispronounce any of these.
I
One
have
by
not heard
20.
anything from leaving this book. I think, as far as I could tell, he's in this book for the long haul.
Hmm. 1 by 25 variant by Sowie. Pumpkin spicy variant. I guess that's supposed to be the Halloween variant by Tom Riley.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Superman has found the mysterious hero known as Booster Gold. Together, they must return to the present day to warn the Justice League. But Darkseid's Legion stands in their way. Stands in the way. The shocking events of this issue lead to next month's massive next chapter in the All In saga.
I'm guessing his
Okay, it's a
next one.
prelude.
Yeah, prelude. Let's see. This could be Action Comics. Oh, it's Avengers Superman Book of Bell. Philip Kennedy Johnson. I think this is currently the second book he's working at DC right now because he's also doing Batman and Robin.
He
Interesting,
is.
he's going to be Superman.
Which fun fact? The Memento arc is now finally wrapping up. I'm sorry, the Memento arc might as well be a volume in of itself. That arc completely dragged out. A story you could have told in 3 issues was dragged out to almost 7.
Yep. And the thing is, since he left, there's not been a regular writer for Action Comics. It's been like a year. Yeah, I think it's been like a year because they've done the Superstar Initiative for a while now, for over a year now, and they still haven't picked a regular writer yet. It's like bringing these writers for these story arcs. Few issues leave, or the case of Wade does a big epic story and then leaves. Like, DC, can we please have a regular writer on Action Comics now? It's been over a year.
Adventures of Superman, the Book of L.
$3.99 book. I don't think
BKJ.
This looks like it could be a new ongoing. This one,
possibly. It's $3.99, so that's promising.
Yeah, it's not listed as a limited series, and it's not listed as a one shot. Ooh,
Superman Returns. Fan favorite Future State Superman House of L creators PKJ and Scott Golensky reunite for Adventures of Superman: The Book of L as the Super Family settles into a well-earned time of peace. A powerful ally turned enemy invades Earth with an army at his back, and the god aspect of Olgren, a mad god of the first world. When even the Super Family lacks the power to stop him, Superman is set against his will to a place even he's never been, where he'll find allies he could never have expected. Concluding the events of Future State and PKJ's Action Comics. The next epic adventure begins here.
So they're concluding something that was supposedly finished 4 years ago. That was only
finally wrapping it up here.
Like, I'm like, what the heck took so long? Why did it take 4 years to conclude Future State? It makes no sense. It's like this is more like a follow-up to it, but why wait 4 years for this? This doesn't make any sense because of all the stuff DC was doing last few years. It's it's interesting, but why now?
More than likely, in case, probably just to keep things going because they're prepping for this big event, trying to keep scripts along. Nothing wrong with a de facto follow up. Probably for a one shot, for an issue or two.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at least willing to read it.
This looks like Action Comics.
Superman Unlimited issue number 5.
Oh, okay.
Nick, you want to take this one?
All right, written by Dan Slott, art by Robert Albuquerque. Fairing covers: Dan Moore, Mark Sparks, Metalali, and Duncan Savi. $4.99 for 32 pages. Okay. When Kryptonian Kingdom faces a deadly terrorist from the Cobra cult, I don't know why it's told a K. That's weird. This looks like a job like for any here other than Superman. The nation of Hell, Colorado, has the highest concern to Krypton on the planet, but literally the last place on Earth Superman should go. But when the people so cry for help, of course, Man of Steel went to call because Superman, part one of the first multi-part adventure in Superman Unlimited. Krypton Kingdom.
Which
Like,
I appreciate Superman getting all the added synergy, even if it is mostly for the movie. I appreciate the extra attention he's getting.
but why in the world is Colt spelled with a K? Like, I don't remember ever if it ever spelled with a K. It just simply referred to as Cobra.
Probably
Because,
so it won't. Probably so it won't get confused with Cobra.
except this Cobra spelled with a K instead of a C.
I'm sorry, I had to do the bid. Come on, man, you gotta let me. Come on, you
Yeah.
set me up. Quick.
And plus, fun fact, the Cobra organization debuted a decade prior to the Cobra terrorist organization from G.I. Joe.
Really? Wait. So DC Cobra debuted in the 70s?
Yes. Do you know who created them?
Who?
Jack the King Kirby.
Wow. Some
Yeah.
of his last works.
Yeah, he did the first issue. Then he left after one issue, hit up with somebody else. And DC collected in a trade for JSA versus Cobra. Jomo is useless. I highly doubt that, tell him.
Good to see you, though, T29. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, too many Green Lantern Earth? I don't think so. We have what? Maybe close to 10.
Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Kyle Rayner. No, wait, I gotta go in order. Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, though not by much. John Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, though he was a glorified plot device to set up the first Lantern arc in Green Lantern Corps' Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
Teen Lantern.
Yes.
And Joe. That's 8.
It. Yeah. I don't think that's too many.
9 if we're counting Razor, but again, he's an animated series original who was canonized after the fact.
I think Jeremy Adams canonized him, didn't he?
Yes, very recent in his recent run. I think he canonized him in issue 3 of his Green Lantern run.
Yeah, and they revealed the start of it that someone's going with Kilowog, which is kind of weird. And apparently, the whole thing of the planet. I know it's kind of a spoiler, but it happened a year ago, so I can spoil here. So the reason why the planet was under quarantine in the Green Lantern book, because the United Planets are under the control of the Dominators, and Dominators hate the Lanterns. That's why.
Pretty much. I think in that run, they actually do show Kilowog, the flashback for Kilowog getting killed off in issue 5.
Yes.
During an attack on the coalition.
A lot of people might see killing him off as a mistake, given the fact he's for a non-Earth Green Lantern, he is very popular.
Very much so.
Yeah, he's like, and here's the weird thing related to him. Did you know Steve Eckhart created him? He first appeared in Green Lantern Corps 201 back in the 80s. Because people think he's been around since the start of Green Lantern. Oh no, he's around since the 80s. Now this looks like Action Comics.
Yep.
But for some reason, there's also a lantern ring. You see that? It looks like a lantern ring, or it could be kryptonite. Based on the way that these covers are, it's like Mark Waid is trying to do Birthright all over again with this.
Action Comics 1090, written by Mark Waid, art by Skylar Patridge, cover by Ryan Sook, great artist, variants by Gerald Perel and Ricardo Lopez Ortiz, and with Patridge doing a variant as well as interiors.
Mm-hmm.
A long forgotten hero from the past returns, but this is no team up. As Superboy fights his life against the original Man of Tomorrow, he discovers the real reason superheroes have been gone for so long. Can Clark convince his enemy that he comes in peace?
Is
Yeah,
this
this is
Cap?
very
Is this
similar to.
Captain Common again? Because Grant Morrison did this in his run for Action Comics,
Yeah.
and this is Supergirl, and I can tell the second cover that's Stanley Anagram
Mm-hmm.
because he loves drawing Supergirl. He loves drawing this character. Oh my gosh, it's Streaky! Streaky the cat.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This second one just looks like an AI prompt to me. I'm sorry.
I think that's Stanley.
Huh.
You probably see him listed there.
I do.
He,
I see him as credited for one of the variants, but I would not be surprised if this was an AI prompt. No,
yeah,
no fault to the artwork. I just wouldn't be surprised if he cut corners here.
yeah, but he I've seen any pictures related to him. He loves drawing Supergirl. Like anytime it comes to me, Carlino, they always put a picture of Supergirl. That's why I know it's him.
Hmm.
So for Campbell, yep, I was right. It's Stanley Agram Lou. He did the variant cover. I was right.
Yep. Art interior art by Rosie Campy and Polina. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Variants by Stanley Artgum, Art Arkham Lau and Chrissy Zulo. 1.5 variant, 25 variant by Adriana Mello, and Pumpkin Spicy variant by Chuma Hill. Again, what is it
Yes.
with the pumpkin spice? Just call it the autumn issue. Just call them the autumn variant.
Yeah, and it's written by Sophie Campbell. She also has the variant cover.
When Kara is called away to solve some super problems in Metropolis, Lena Luthor and the Super Pets are left to defend Midvale. Can Streaky and Crypto finally aside their differences for the greater good? Or will they end up fighting like cats and dogs? You won't want to miss this fun-filled flipbook adventure starring the new additions to the Super Pet family, Titano and Candy. Somebody
Okay.
tells me Candy's a rabbit.
Probably. Lena Luthor, is that Lex's sister or is that his daughter?
Uh, huh. I want to say it's because I do remember Lena Luthor, the sister from the Arrowverse and the Supergirl show.
Yeah,
But I
and
want.
his daughter is also named Lena as well.
Hmm.
Because they named his daughter after his sister.
Mm. Crypto.
Crypto!
Go ahead, Nick. I'll let you have this one.
Crypto, the last dog of Krypton, written by Ryan North. All story of the recently relaunched Fantastic Four, even though he'd been writing it the previous volume, because Marvel loves number ones. Art by Mike Norton, cover by Jay Lee, art by Carl Ketzler. Kershaw. Crypto is my new friend, another stray, and together the two of them travel across America, but not alone. A monster from a distant world has come to Earth, and the two paths come in collision course. Crypto, with two powers, are just coming in, Cornian, and finally must defend himself, his friend, and his planet. This sounds interesting. I think I read the first issue. This actually was pretty good, but I'm like, nothing against Ryan North, but yeah, his Marvel work is not doing him favors.
It is really not. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, especially since I think in March, I think it was, his One World in Doom, eighth best-selling comic book of the month. Eighth. In a month dominated by Absolute Universe. And by these covers, it's time for Tom King's Wonder Woman. And I think that's the Halloween cover in the middle there.
Yep, right here. That's
Yep.
the holiday cover. Written by Tom King. Wonder Woman issue 25. Written by Tom King. Art by Daniel Sempri. Great art, though the writing is not the best. Not gonna lie. And Jorge Fornes. Cover and interiors by Daniel Sampier. Variants by Mark Spears, Homer, and Greg Smallwood. 1 by 25 variant by Tran Nugent. Foil variant by David Nakayama. Pumpkin Spicy variant by Yasmin Putri. And there's a black sketch cover for 5.99, 4.99, excuse me, for 40 pages.
Yeah, the blank sketch covers are for fans to bring the covers to Comic Con to have artists draw on them. That's literally the purpose of them. I know because I've seen these things at Comic Con. So people buy these things and they have an artist draw on the draw whatever the heck they want, even if they're not the regular artist of the book. They will draw on it as long as they're paid. Usually they're paid for it.
After days of searching through a mouse-infested world, Wonder Woman finally locates the lost Etta Candy, and fugitive Amazon Emily. Little does she know they are hiding a tiny harbinger of death who will change Diana's fate forever. You won't want to miss the first appearance of the matriarch in this oversized anniversary issue. This will set the stage for all Wonder stories to come.
I guess this next book is Trinity.
And I believe so. Trinity, the
Yep.
daughter of Wonder Woman, issue number 4. This is the fourth in a miniseries.
Yep.
Which I read the Jason Todd issue in issue 3. It's not bad. It doesn't contradict anything. It's just a private little story with Jason Todd Robin prior to the events of Bosnia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tivia is saying about stop going with Emily. I agree. The character is not that interesting. She was just created for a rip off sequel to the original Amazon's Attack. That was the whole purpose of the character.
Yeah, and if you really wanted a rogue Amazon to be your inciting incident, anyone could have done that.
Not
You could have.
original character, which like the whole thing with the whole incident, it's like Tom King just took the opening scene from Robin War and made it for the Amazon set with Robins.
Pretty
Because
much.
it was pretty much for the same reason. Like, an Amazon does something wrong, gotta pass it along to Bandom. And I'm like, it's one person.
In an
Like,
isolated incident. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was because Emily, and I'm doing it because of YouTube's policies, it's because Emily unalived a bunch of drunks in a bar.
yeah. And I'm like, it's one person doing this. It's like it's the whole stupid thing I've never been a big fan of. One person does something wrong and blame the whole entire group. I really don't like that at all. It's a really stupid thing. It's not fair to other people, and I never think of the real life concept of the real life thing of this, or even fiction. It's dumb. No one likes it, and yet, for some reason, fiction writers love using this trope a lot.
This Tevia says this rogue Amazon storyline really needs to end because it sucks. Same goes with the Sovereign. Now, again,
Sovereign's done. Sovereign's done. I don't think there's anything. He's not dead. He just. I think Tom King has dealt with him.
yeah, because he. I'm not gonna say was. Did they try to overhype Sovereign? No, to an extent, but he was not well received at all. Almost the only way you could really salvage this for the overall run is if Sovereign was a prelude villain to a larger story over the course of the run itself.
And plus, all he was a Dr. Psycho ripoff because he literally had the same exact power as Dr. Psycho. He was featured, but he did nothing with Dr. Psycho. It's like he was embarrassed to use him.
Which I'll admit, Dr. Psycho is pretty straightforward, misogynistic, and hacky for the Silver Age. Yes, for all intents and purposes, Dr. Psycho is hacky and satire for the Silver Age. That's the whole point of his character. Even Harley Quinn, the animated series, used Dr. Psycho effectively, albeit in an ensemble role. And yeah, the jokes do get a little grating because, again, he Dr. Psycho, if he's not a raging misogynist, he's just a basic telepath. There's not really much to him beyond that. But as for Sovereign,
he's easily beatable.
easily. But as for Sovereign, he's able to charter and play politics. But outside of that, in the lasso of deception, Sovereign's not much of a threat, at least not by himself.
It's like the only thing nowhere he did is he killed Steve Trevor, and yet somehow he's back. Somehow, in a recent issue, he just came back to life with no explanation.
I don't know whether or not. Again, they did do a flash forward at the end of the Sovereign arc. They did do a little flash forward to set up Mouse Man, to set up not Rat Man, this current villain they have now.
But
But at
Mouse
least
Man,
Mouse Man, thank you. But at least in the context of the Sovereign arc specifically, he does make it to the flash forward, and that's how he retells his story. The only difference is he ends up scarring himself, branding himself a quote unquote liar because Diana pressured him to in fear of his life.
and that was pretty much the way to end his threat. And now he's in jail, which I'm not sure how the U.S. government's going to try this guy, given the fact that, well, he has committed some crimes, but I don't know. I would say that aside from maybe one woman's testimony, I don't know if they can actually prove anything that she says. I don't know.
The only thing he would truly be culpable for is the unaliving of Steve Trevor.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they really be able to pin Sovereign for, realistic.
Yeah. Tibia, that happened in the most recent issue of the book. He just randomly came back. As a matter of fact, his and Diana's daughter is not even featured in the book anymore. It's like once the Sovereign Storm wrapped up, they just dropped the character.
Now, baby Lizzie appeared at the very spoilers for issue 23, but she does appear. Diana does bring baby Lizzie with her. But yeah, outside of the Trinity Daughter of Wonder Woman miniseries, yeah, you're not going to see any more flash forwards or backups with adult Trinity. You may see her as a baby, but not beyond that.
Yeah, especially as the baby is not really not doing much with her at all. It's like she was created simply to have Wonder Woman be a mother, something that she has done before. The Golden Age version did with Steve Trevor, except the daughter's name was Helen.
And she went by Fury with the JSA. I want to say it was with the JSA.
Yes. And then after the Crisis, they changed it where it was Wonder Woman was her mom. It was another character who was also Fury as well, except they kept the last name as Trevor.
No relation.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird. And then this woman later married Hector Hall, the son of Carter Hall, Hawkman, and they had a son together named Daniel Hall, who is currently Sandman.
Yeah, the Golden Age gets weird.
Yeah, but at least DC is not afraid of their legacy like Marvel.
No, they're not. They're not.
I mean, DC has like third generation superheroes. I mean, if you look at Marvel Comics, how many multi-generation superheroes do you have there?
2.
You have Cassie Lang. You have Hulkling. He's on the original Captain Marvel. Let's see. Aside from these two, I would probably throw up there because
Isaiah Bradley's grandson. He's technically a third generation, though.
His father was a superhero.
Hmm?
His father was not a superhero. Patriot's father was not a superhero.
Okay, technically second because his father never became a hero himself. So technically second.
But I would say Hulkling and Speed, given the fact that it's weirdly explained that they're reincarnated of Scarlet Witch's kids, so Scarlet Witch considers these two her children.
Because comics.
Yes. She's not a superhero, but she is a third generation character. Quicksilver's daughter Luna, who hasn't aged. She's basically still like 10. She's like basically about the same age as Franklin. Franklin Richards, the son of Reed Richards, who's not smart like his father. You are currently invited to the wedding of Bruce Wayne, and it's like again. excuse me. Big day for our lovebirds. What DC Winterfell, low crisis. Lizzie travels the way mare to the past sheep. A corky pup, and you guessed it, chaos ensues. I still think basically DC having Cole feel this wedding was a terrible idea.
Yeah, they
Like,
probably won't. They or he's backing out of it was a terrible idea.
yes. Power Girl?
Yep, this is JLU.
Okay. Looks like Martian Manhunter. Oh yeah, Just Like Limited.
No, 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 no.
It's a weird, and he's doing Superman.
Yeah, he's Mark Waid
Oh,
is
look, it's
really awesome.
Impulse.
Yep,
Wade's
Impulse.
doing like, I say October he's doing 3 books: Flash, this book, and Batman Superman World Finest. But Dan, he's doing Superman in this book.
Impulse, Jay and Irie, Wallace, Avery. I want to say that's Barry, or at
I
least
think
that's
so.
Barry's costume.
And as for behind him, I think that's the statue.
Hmm.
I think that's the watchtower behind them.
Something strange is happening on Earth, and the Justice League is powerless to stop it. It began with a horrific volcanic explosion in the heart of a villain stronghold nation of Zandia, and it quickly spread to Count Vertigo's neighboring kingdom of Vladava. The parademons and the JLU faced before are the only tip of the iceberg. The entire planet is in peril. What signal does this point to Quantum Quorium's tournament? Do not miss the pivotal next chapter in the All In saga.
Nice featuring Count Vertigo again, especially since he's not currently featured in Green Arrow. I mean, I think like the last time I think his feature was probably in the previous volume of Green Arrow.
Wait, have they canonized Perdita from Young Justice yet?
I'm not sure.
Because they've had multiple opportunities with Vladova focused stories. You think they would have canonized her by now?
Cheetah and Cheshire arrive the Justice League. And it's done with the same creative team who did, the odd number issues for Wonder Woman, the previous one, not the current one. It's Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott. I think this is the third book they've done together I can think of, because the first book I can think of they did together was Black Magic. And Nicola Scott is a fantastic artist. Variant cover by Joe Perpilla, art and Gillian March. The perfect heist needs the perfect crew to pull off this impossible and extract heist on this watchtower. She and Cheshire are going to need a little help. Put together a small crew, quick and smart. Megalomaniacs and wackos bent on world domination need not apply. I think this might be Just Like Red. I've got Red Tornado there. Yep, it is. Written by Solomon Allman, the current writer of Miles Morales. Actually, he was writing Miles Morales. I think he's currently the writer of Daredevil right now. He's writing 2 characters, 2 books with one of the characters wearing the color red.
Interesting.
Right.
Yep. Red Tornado conscripts Cyborg, but after his first mission, Vic, Green Lantern, and Power Girl aren't ready to team up unless it's to shut Reddy down. But Red Tornado can't let anyone step out of line. To stop the future his analysis predict, he's willing to leverage the one bargaining chip the heroes can't ignore.
I'm hoping he's not blackmailing their families.
Because you can't. I'm not saying you can't make Red Tornado a villain. I'm just saying the bid's been done. To where he's been corrupt, his program has been corrupted, or his creator comes back into play and turns him. I'm just saying we've seen this type of story before.
His creator being T.R. Morrow, classic Justice League villain. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2, number 4.
I'm sorry. This last Elseworld book, the first one, it was good. It was good. It gets wacky at certain points, but it was good. I can't take it away. And the sequel definitely lives up to the hype, at least in my opinion. Nick?
Written by Brian Mitchell, artwork by Christian Deuce. Variant covers by Steven Segovia, Alan Qua, and Lucas Meyer, and Kevin McGuire. Awesome the fact he does this book because legendary Justice League artist. It's a rematch you're all waiting for. Godzilla vs. Superman. With a Man of Steel not at full power. Can he stand up to the King of the Monsters? Meanwhile, Leland Shaw and Lex Luthor continue the evil plans to mine DNA from Hollow Earth. Leland Shaw. Who the heck is Leland Shaw?
This looks like a character from the Monsterverse.
Yeah, this looks like, I think this is a detective.
Yep, Detective Comics 1101.
56 pages? Damn! Must be a long book.
For $5.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Written by Tom Taylor, art by Michael Jenin, who I believe he did the first arc for Chip Zdarsky for his run for Batman. Gabriel Delito and Frank Chu. Variant cover by Stephen Haynes. Criminals are superstitious and cowardly a lot. Batman has long depended on his mantra to uphold justice in Gotham City. But what if Gotham was a city devoid of fear? Repeat of Gothopia. Will this lead to free inhabitants of populace driven by suicide and ability to maintain moral terror? To answer this question, Dark Knight must embark on a howling adventure that must be believed. Join the powers team of Tom Taylor and Michael Jenin's brand new arc that teams Batman, these iconic superheroes, and the mystery of a terrifying world without fear. It's like basically Gothopia. That's the story John Lee ended up his run with, but global.
Yeah, I got a Godtopia vibe to that synopsis as well.
Yeah. It's Nightwing. Which is so obvious, but the covers. 130. Like with Batman getting relaunched, this is DC's highest number of issues that does not receive a relaunch or renumbering. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
I think just behind this one, I believe, is Catwoman. That's the third longest. I think the fourth highest is Harley Quinn.
Yes.
I would say as of right now, behind Harley Quinn, I'm thinking it's probably Superman. I would say it's just behind that one. Written by Dan Winter, works by Dexter Soy, Jorge Fellows, and Juan Ferreira. Pumpkin Spicy variant cover, Kevin Walda. Variant cover by Ethan Young. Pumpkin Spicy is probably just a flavor. It's a flavor of iced coffee. Pumpkin spice. And you're saying the Batman family girls got the new costumes. Nightwing still has the same costume. So it looks like Castigane does too. Kind of. I think in the case of Nightwing, I think if DC ever attempted to alter his costume, I think his readers would be upset.
Yeah, you can't change the formula too much.
I would say probably the first time his costume changed a few times over the years. The costume he has now is a variant of his Volume 2 costume.
Yeah, you had Disco Wing post Judas Contract. Then you had the 90s aesthetic with the mullet. Then a slightly less colored version bleeding. Then you had the Chuck Dixon where he cut his hair back. And that ended up being the same all the way to where he donned the cowl at post Final Crisis before switching back in Batman Incorporated where he kept his late 90s, early 2000s Chuck Dixon suit. Then he went with a red branded suit in the New 52. Then he went right back to blue around Rebirth. And prior to recently, the costume hasn't changed much from his Rebirth design. Not by much.
I remember hearing from Danny DiDio, I think it was at WonderCon when they first announced Rebirth line. Of course, this was 9 years ago. he admitted taking away the blue from Nightwing was a mistake.
Yeah.
Now he finds himself thrust to an unlikely role of mentor to an inspiring hero with incredible power, but the city of Blight is big enough for both of them. Okay, sure and sweet. I'm looking at Cassie's costume. Looks like it received a slight update a little bit.
On
Like
the bat a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like some of the sleeves too. You see it?
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, if you ever see what how Damien Scott drew costume, it made it look a little loose on her.
Mm.
But it looked tight, but he felt a little bit loose. Because I don't think he wanted to draw the costume look skin tight on her, where it's like directly touching her skin. Like in the other case, the other Batman characters. I mean, Batman's costume is not skin tight. I don't think Nightwing's is either, but Cassie's was pretty close to being skin tight. Why I think it's called tights. And I'm hoping that cover this is not the final issue. I'm hoping to God it's not. Because I've actually been enjoying this title.
Yeah, it was a bit of a slow burn in the beginning, but otherwise it's been great.
Yes, and thank you, DC, for bringing this title back. Like, giving Cassie her own title again. This was a smart idea of them.
I think this is her first solo run since No, because she did get a redemption, or at least the
miniseries.
Yeah, this is her first solo run in 15 years. At least as Batgirl. She might have had an Orphan miniseries here and there, or been part of an ensemble with the Outsiders.
She never had a series Orphan. She part of this is part of the Batgirls book, which that was actually good. I love that book. The rumor I heard, the reason why it ended because they did reference the fact that Stephanie and Tim broke up. That was the reason why it ended.
Because they tried to do a gimmick with Robin Tim Drake, and it just didn't work in their favor. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Yep.
Really, I'm not going to say the story itself. The story itself was pretty generic, but the creative team was a complete mismatch, and the artwork didn't do them any goddamn favors.
It's a good thing Riley Reeves was taking out the book after a short period of time, because I think this book would have killed his career if he stayed on longer.
Agreed. I think he moved on to Harley Quinn after that.
He wasn't Harley Quinn before. Then he went to that book. I think the book he did after that was Wesley Dodd Sandman.
Thank you. Way better word form, a lot better.
I'm gonna be right back. Okay.
Go ahead. While we're waiting on Nick, we're going to move on to Catwoman. Catwoman 79, written by Torin Grabeck. Art by Danilo Beirut. Cover by Seba Fumara. Variants by Frank Cho and Dan Panosian. 1x25 variant by Kathy Kwan. And 1x50 variant by Frank Cho. Excuse me, everybody. Selena Kyle is on the hunt for a precious item from her childhood connected to her mother. But when she tracks down its whereabouts, it leads her to a mysterious auction in Venice, held by a dangerous secret society. Will Catwoman successfully steal a piece of her history, or has the feline fatale finally bitten off more than she can chew? I'll wait for Nick to cover this one. Birds of Prey by Kelly Thompson. Now, this one started strong, in my opinion, but honestly, this book fell off. And thank you for the congratulations, Tevia. Wait, hold on. Before we move on to Birds of Prey, Tevia, what is the Renegade? What is Renegade? Night? Okay, Yes, Grayson did go undercover as Renegade in the late 90s. No, wait, early 2000s. This was before Teen Titans 03. So, yeah, right at the turn of the century, he created the Renegade persona, which which in of itself became the inspiration for Red X and the Teen Titans 03 show.
He did
So,
that because he was framed for murder.
yeah. But that was a like I said, that was a separate circumstance. That's not a variant of the Nightwing costume. That's just him laying low and going undercover for a brief period of time.
Yeah. Ooh, look at this cover for Birds of Prey. That very cover on the far right.
Yep,
That's
this one right
not
here.
to Chuck Dixon. Birds of Prey. Because
Very solid run.
it's Greg Land, which still DC has chosen not to finish collecting this run for some reason. Like, here's something really weird though. They collected from when Gail Simone was in the book up until the last issue. All the whole run, all that's in trade. But the run but the run between 36 and 55 are not in trade paperback. I don't know why DC did this for, but they did.
Would you say this current book has fallen off or fell off after Green Arrow was brought back post Dark Crisis?
I I've been kind of enjoying the book.
Oh, it's enjoyable for what it is, but momentum wise, would you say it's fallen off?
Yes, it kind of has, given the fact that, well, you have Cassie featured in this book, and she's got her own solo book. She's like the only character in this whole book who has a solo book. You find that kind of weird?
I do, because you got Black Canary here, you got Sin finally coming back in the main continuity. You can create a like a little team up book with those two when they're not with the Arrow family. Big Bardash, who's usually more cosmic, but she's pretty much the muscle of this team.
Yeah, and there's one person who's usually associated with Birds of Prey not here. Huntress.
You're right. But I guess they're saving. Not to mention, I know I should have said this when we covered that book, but that really felt more. The concept felt more like a huntress in question story. With the Vic version of the character.
Yeah, and also currently for Black Canary, this is one of two titles she's currently featured in. The other, of course, being Green Arrow.
For obvious reasons.
Yes.
All right, you want to read this one, Nick?
Yes. Birds of Prey 25, written by Kelly Thompson, art by Cliff Richards and Sam Sorry. Cover, Andy Wu. Art, variant cover and full cover by Leonardo Romero. Good artist. I kind of wish he was still doing Tears. Greg Land does the variant cover. Gerardo Parolo does the another variant cover. Despite Greg Land's reputation, I kind of wish he would have done more covers for this book, because he was technically the original artist for Birds of Prey back in the 90s. I'm surprised they even brought him to this book. And surprisingly, despite being 25, it's not double-sized. You find that kind of weird?
Same. This technically should be an anniversary issue.
Yes. The Birds of Prey took on the fight the Shadow Army and won, but that was merely the Shadow's first move in their endgame is only beginning. After an unexpected ally emerges, the Burn find themselves racing against the clock to stop a game called the Unreality, but it's trying to become mass casualty in Gotham. To stop it, the Birds who undercover into the game dismantle it at the source to make it alive. Okay, if this book is set in Gotham City, I'm sure it's going to involve Batman in some way, because it's Gotham City. You always going to involve Batman.
I'm sure, at least in this arc, Batman will play a supporting role, or at the very least cameo in the comic. But he's definitely not going to play. He's definitely not going to overshadow the team, if that makes sense.
And here's the weird thing about Birds of Prey. If you count every single book that's released Birds of Prey, like the first 3 volumes, they have Birds of Prey. The backer Birds of Prey book, the 4th volume one shot, and this one. This book has put out over 200 issues. But has DC acknowledged that? No. They have not acknowledged it at all for some weird reason. I would have thought they would have by now, given the fact the book is like over 30 years old. Nope. Oh, it's Poison Ivy.
Now, before we move on, I actually recently caught up on this book, and I was surprised how they barely interact with Ivy and Harley at all. Say what you will from the synergy from the animated show, but Harley hardly ever appears in these books. Like to the
She
point,
usually she's basically a recurring character. She's not a main supporting character because here's the big reason why. She has a solo book, so why would she appear constantly in Poison Ivy?
true, but it's also the fact that that Ivy has a separate love interest, and they're trying to do a thruple type situation. At least from what I'm getting from the dialogue.
Which makes the second character do that because Scandal Savage does that too, because she has two wives.
Okay, it was just something I noticed.
Yeah, and I'm going to see Jewel Wilson next week. I'm going to bring a copy of the first trade for her to sign because it's the only thing I have, the only thing I own that she has written because I don't anything from Miss Marvel, the Camilla Constance, she created the character. I heard a rumor about the creation of Miss Marvel, even though yes, Jewel Wilson is credited for creating her, but apparently there was this woman who's got a similar last name, Salman Ahmed, where she ended up partially creating Miss Marvel. You hear about this?
I
The
have.
one who apparently who basically took over Marvel Comics for 10 years and had no Wikipedia page, and then as soon as she left, she now has one. And somehow this woman is responsible for the creation of the character. I'm not sure. And for some reason, they list Jewel Wilson for Tama Comic Con. They list her not under comic creator because that's what she is. They list her on the title of author. I don't know if she wrote any books per se. It's just that when I know of her, I know her for comic books, not for writing novels. Maybe she did. I don't know. I've never read any books with her name on it per se. And overall, people forget the fact that she was previously writer for Wonder Woman. I believe she was the regular writer took over after Rucka left because they had two fill-in writers after Rucka left because first it was James Robertson, and I think it was another writer, and it was also Steve Orlando. Actually, Robertson did have a brief run for the book, but I think she was the third regular writer for the book for the Rebirth run.
She was.
Yeah, and her run was actually really good. I enjoy her run for Wonder Woman. Did you read it?
I did.
Yeah. Seattle. Really? I thought you take her out of swamp. It's a beautiful day in Seattle. The sun is out. The birds chirping. And the Order of the Green Knight is at Poison Ivy's back and quick call. As Ivy begins her reign as a new leader of the organization, she must reflect on the fight with the GCPD in Marshville and wonders how the police found her. Is it possible the traitor missed? Tensions rise among the raids. Ivy hunts for the person who helped destroy her budding utopia in Slaughter's Swamp. It's got Janet wondering when the faithful turn their eyes upon her, what will they find? I think Janet, I remember correctly, Janet is the love interest. And she's not only kissed Ivy, she's also kissed Harley too.
Okay.
And Harley actually admitted it to Ivy, but Ivy had no problem with it. She accepted it, no problem. And it's not considered Harley cheated on her, but they're in 3 relationships, so it's perfectly fine from her perspective. This is obviously the Harley Quinn book. Now, the writer of this book is somebody who, prior to taking out the book, I was not familiar with this writer at all. Harley Quinn 54.
Elliot Kalin. I've seen some of their work here and there, but otherwise a complete unknown.
Yeah, at least Catwoman's got a good writer. Torin Greyback is awesome. She's written amazing books. The love interest is for Ivy is Janet and Harley Quinn. Timmy, the reason why the book is still around because it actually sells. That's the reason why DC keeps publishing it.
And momentum from the animated series. So
Yes, and plus, Ivy, people love Poison Ivy. Though I kind of wish that they would do a book. I know they did. I know they're doing Gotham City Sirens. I know that was a miniseries. But I'm talking about a cross between Harley, Catwoman, and Ivy that does not involve their series going hiatus for a few months. Like, have one title lead, another lead, another. Just do that. Nope, they just rather keep these titles separate. Like, I'm not suggesting basically have it serialized. Just do a crossover once in a while. Because people love these characters, DC.
agreed.
And I love people in this book. I met Yannick Predic. Awesome guy. He did, according to him, his very first book he ever drew was actually Grant Morrison's Seven Soldiers Victory. Yeah, first comic he worked on that one. Carlos Ave does the main interior. Variant cover is done by David Nicomaya, Muhammad Sur, and Manny Cabrera. Everyone's got a girl. Every so often, a girl's got to stretch her legs, leave her comfort zone, get mentally wounded, thrown into an RV, driven across country, involuntary road trip, aka be kidnapped. The Gun Buddies are back, and they've taken yours truly on action-packed jaunt to Coast City, the home of Hal Jordan and Cyborg Superman. Yeah, those people forget that was actually his hometown. Actually, his wife is from there. And that's why he destroyed it in the 90s. Read it, Superman. Read it. It's like, you're like,
good,
what?
Not as good as Death, but but as a duology, it works a lot better.
Yeah, and you're like, really? So he destroyed Coast City because his late wife was from there. That's the reason why he did it. Don't believe me? Read Reign of the Superman. It's in a great trade paperback DC released a few years ago. It's excellent. We'll become best buds forever. I'm going to crash our RV into a concrete wall. One thing's for sure. The end of this issue, zoo animals running wild in the streets. Why in the world is this person who wrote this writes Harley as like the obvious narrator? Because this feels like a fourth wall breaking.
They've been trying to make Harley DC's Deadpool for the longest time, but it's obviously Ambush Bug.
Or it's also Lobo.
Lobo or Ambush Bug, but Lobo is not known for breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, Lobo is just popular. People love Lobo.
But if you want the closest thing DC has to Wolverine, it's pretty much Lobo.
I kind of wish DC would do something a little more with Lobo, like as a tribute to Keith Giffen. They haven't done. I think the most recent thing they did with him was being part of the House of Brainiac story, which was, by the way, the crossover was amazing. It's one of the best things that came out prior to All In, not only before Absolute Power.
Agreed.
Batman Robbed by Philip Kennedy Johnson, the other book he's working on from DC.
Like I said, I'm just not a fan of the hockey pads.
I think I kind of see the hockey pads. Are they on his boots?
Yeah, they're like right at the tip of his boots, like right here. This is a better picture of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. It's like, also, not only that looks like a variant of the Tim Drake costume.
It does, doesn't it?
I'm like, what was wrong with the costume that the artist behind Josh Williams' Robin book? Like, he had the costume quite a while. That costume was good.
The gray one or the Rebirth costume?
The gray one.
Yeah, that was a pretty. Say what you will about what was going through with editorial at the time, but yeah, the sleekness, the little stints of Teen Rebellion after his falling out with Bruce, that callback to his League of Assassins gear. Yeah, it worked for what it was. But especially if the James Gunn's DCU was going to get off the ground, you knew they were going to bring Damian back into the fold for synergy purposes. So I understand giving them a brighter costume. I'm just not a fan of the hockey pads. The hockey pads ruin the look for me. I'm just going to be honest.
My only problem with this, having the hockey pads, it's like DC is trying so hard to erase Tim Drake from history. So hard. And the example of this is Damien's costume. It's a variant of Tim's first costume.
It is.
Which, if you think about it, there is no reason for him to wear this costume. He has his own costume as Robin. I mean, when Jason Todd was Robin, he practically wore Dick Grayson's short costume. Though for some weird reason in the last several years, and I have no idea why DC did this, for some weird reason, they do flashbacks of Dick Grayson as Robin, and they put him in the Tim Drake costume.
To be fair, it would be awkward in a modern setting for an adolescent Robin to be in the boy shorts. So I understand from a modern consensus why you would give Grayson pants in the flashbacks. But chronologically, Tim was the first Robin to be integrated pants in his costume because Tim was a teenager when he advocated for the mantle.
Yes, and also the costume looks too much like it's like DC just took Tim Drake's first costume and put it on. First to put on Dick in a flashback, and now giving it to Damien. Some could say it's basically some people with DC give a middle finger to Chuck Dixon.
Some of it is to an extent, but I would say the only outliers would be Gleb Mount with the Robin 2021 run, which Williamson openly admitted was a love letter to Dixon's Tim Drake Robin run. Even to the point that the art would definitely go out of their way to make Damien similar to Tim. Even to the point that in a crossover with John in John Kent, one of John Kent's books, they actually confused Damien for Tim and delayed the issue a week so they could change the inks to parallel Damien to make it look more like Damien. The original inks had it look like Tim.
Yeah.
Just a fun little fact for you, but
yeah.
In terms of Tim being snubbed aside, that's never. I understand your frustration, Nick. Believe me, I grew up with Tim Drake too. I got into comics during the late '90s, I
actually started reading DC in 2010, which that was the first time I saw Tim was when he wasn't technically Robin. I read the old issues, and I love the Chuck Dixon issues. They're probably the best issues of that original Robin run. Any issue he wrote was pure gold. I was read every issue as a 10 out of 10 because it was so good. It was one of those books where once Dixon left, the book went downhill. The only book that did not go downhill was Birds of Prey. Basically Nightwing took a dip after he left, or got step up after David Grayson. After once George Perez and Mark Ruffalo took over the book. But Robin took a big dip. And it took until, I would say probably the person who indirectly helped save the title, so I got canceled, was Chuck. It's like he was the only good writer for that book. Huh. Okay.
But yeah, I understand some of that conception. Especially depending on how the James Gunn and the DCU wants to tackle things. I don't think they're going to outright omit Tim Drake, but at the very least, they're going to snub him aside by the end of that film.
Because if at least acknowledge him, but don't say he's dead.
No, that's definitely going to be Jason because you want to save Under the Red Hood for a sequel.
If I were James Gunn, I would have Tim establish a flashback as Robin and currently as
Red Robin,
and wearing that Kingdom Come suit.
So you would want Tim already branding into his own, because even though I don't know why people still think this, Damien did not snub Tim of the Robin mantle. Grayson bequeathed it to Damien as a gesture to better guide him, with him taking up the cowl as Batman. He had already accepted Tim as an equal and fellow hero. Tim just took it poorly because he was going through a lot of emotional baggage with the fake death of Stephanie and the later retconned resurrection of Connor. Tim was going through a lot of emotional baggage at the time.
And also his father being killed by Captain Boomerang.
Did Damian twist the knife and be a little shit about it? Yes. But he did not snub Damian of the Robin mantle. Grayson bequeathed it to him.
Yep. And a lot of the time, one thing you ever notice about where Damien, a lot of the characters he referred to by their last name, like he refers to Stephanie Brown as Brown. He refers to Alfred as Pennyworth, not referred to him as first name. He refers to Tim Drake as simply Drake. A lot of the time, he never refers to characters by their first name. He always refers to them by their last name.
Yes, he's very formal.
Some could say that's probably his mother's teachings given to him, but usually the most common country to do this is the UK. I heard they do that with their, where they actually call each other by their last name. But he doesn't use Mr. or Mrs. He just blatantly calls them by their last name. Heck, he calls Jason Todd, Todd.
And even when Damian was laying low in his earlier appearances, prior to Leviathan and all that, he and Talia mostly laid low in like Cambodia, or in Arab Chinese territories. They hardly ever went to Europe, except when Damian was on missions.
Yep. But one thing interesting about the character is that no writer, not even Grant Morrison, did this. He never wrote Damian with a British accent. Never wrote him that way.
No.
Because his father is American. He probably wanted to keep with the Americanization with the character.
And yes, I think this is the start of a new arc following Memento, because God, Memento was dragged out.
Yep. Phil Kennedy Johnson, which is actually one of 2 books he does for DC. Overall, I think he works on 3, if I remember correctly, because he works on this one, The Adventures of Superman, House of L, and Incredible Hulk.
Personally, I feel Fabian Nazia was a better Tim writer. That's yeah. So that he refused to work for DC after New 52.
I just like Chuck's work because he established a lot of stuff for Tim. Fabian Caesar basically mostly put it was there to help relaunch the title as Red Robin, which, if anybody, if anybody ever finds any Red Robin trades, good luck finding them because they're out of print.
Give me just a moment. Nick, you mind keep going for a moment?
Yeah. 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 Oh, looks like I see Beast Boy next cover.
Yep, with Doom Patrol.
Is that a new series for Doom Patrol?
I think it's just a crossover from the previous one, because I haven't seen.
The last series was Unstoppable Doom Patrol.
Again, Fabian left around the New 52, like 2011, 2012. He left within the first couple of months.
He didn't write Damian when the relaunch happened. That was Scott Lobdell.
It was the appeal of things. It was the appeal of things to being editorially driven.
Yeah, from what I read behind the scenes from the early 2010s, DC was not a very good place in the early 2010s.
No.
It was so toxic.
No.
It was so toxic, George Press quit.
He did come back as a consultant for the live-action Titan series, but I think that was but that was a production credit more than anything.
Yeah. I mean, at least some people at DC do respect him enough to actually collect his work and trade.
And welcome Robert onto the show. How are you doing, Robert? Hello, can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, I talked with the man. Yeah, he left because he started doing Legion Lost, and he hated that book. And he hated what Lobdell was doing to the Titans. He felt like you're completely disgracing so much of your teen characters. And in fact, the only reason why he came back and did some of those Convergent books was so he could fix the problems, especially Roy.
Mm-hmm.
But he has said, I have no interest in what they're doing. And I'm positive he has been avoiding knowing what is going on with Tim. But I can also tell if he does know, he hates it.
I met in the season once at Comic-Con. I never talked to much about the New 52 stuff. I have met Scott Lobdell.
Mm-hmm.
And, I did tell him this. His second volume he did for Raven the Outlaws was better than the first one.
Oh,
and
he
was not upset. He was not upset by that at all. He
right.
seemed very happy about that.
I think because that's when he had more freedom.
Yes.
Because that was the rebirth. That was the rebirth run. Or you talk about after during the first volume when Tinian was done.
The rebirth.
Oh, you're talking about Outlaws. All right. Because he technically, Lobdell did come back to the book.
Briefly.
Yeah. But this, because we have this book, Titans, which
it's all right. It's all right. I think it's better than what Taylor was doing.
I did like one of the idea. I think Tom Taylor did an interesting idea. I love this for the day with the book. He gave them a version of a trophy room, except it was on the moon, and with a shape of giant T. I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't talk much with it, but I thought it was a really cool concept.
I would say the one thing that's still ticking off about I'll tell you this. There's two things. One, I'm only buying this book because it's key for what's going on in Justice League. Layman is one of the few writers I have long stated. I've always stated I will drop a book if a person has been hostile to me. He's the only creator who's ever done that. Unfortunately, I keep on having excuses to buy his stuff.
I know prior to this book, last book he worked on for DC, he did the
Suicide Squad. Yep.
He did that, and prior to that, he did Detective Comics.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, but here, I did not like them making Killer Frost Caitlin a villain again. It's like, if you're gonna make Killer Frost a villain, bring the other Killer Frost in. Why have to make Caitlin the villain?
Yeah, she's been here for the longest time.
Yeah, and the way they did it was having Clock King manipulate her. It's like, really?
And also, randomly, Destro came back to life. This might make him dying in Dark Crisis.
I think they kept that vague enough. Like, yes, he's flatlined. Doesn't mean someone couldn't have revived him.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I appreciate the conversation. Written by John Layman, art by Max Raynor, cover by Pete Woods, variants by Chris Burnham and Michael Allred, and the Halloween variant by John Boy Mayers.
John Boy, I love John Boy.
I met him. Cool guy.
Oh, yep, I met him too.
He's the only. I've never met Chris Burnham. He was actually going to be a main company canceled last minute this year.
Ooh.
I was actually bringing him to sign my copy of. I think it's been sold it. The Unstoppable Doom Patrol trade, which he did the artwork for that one.
Yep, and wait, Unstoppable Doom. He did the cover, not the interior. That's Chris Burnham.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my misheard. Also with I gotta say, with Fabian, I love it. If it's an X book or a Deadpool book, he will charge you. If it's a anything else, doesn't matter how many books, he does it for free.
Yeah.
Now, since we're actually bringing up this conversation, because I know we're still on Titans right now, but I just want to bring this. The whole Damian Tim Drake rivalry, do you see it more as fanon or just how people respond?
I look at brothers. I look at like brothers.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. Like they are, or at least initially, it was Damian wanted to stake his claim, stake his ground, have some firmness so he doesn't get kicked out. But as it's gone on now, oh no, it's just playful brotherly banter. But that's what I always looked at. In the beginning, he just wanted to ensure, like, either he felt entitled to it, and he wanted to make sure his father didn't get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
more
better-
so,
yeah.
in terms of the fan and
Yeah.
the response. Like, do you still see it like, oh, Damian snubbed Tim of the Robin mantle?
Oh no, no. Oh no, no. We already know Grace is the one who gave it to him. If Bruce had done it, it would have been a snub. Grayson doing it, and Tim had chosen to become Red Robin.
Some
Yep.
of it was angst-induced spite, but that was still ultimately his decision.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And I still say Red Robin was Tim at his peak, period, regardless of who was writing it.
Yeah. It was mentioned basically secret claim powers lost during Absolute Power. During Absolute Power, and this is mentioned a couple times, Doom Patrol don't know this, but was mentioned in the first issue of Absolute Power. Their headquarters was burned down.
Ooh.
The Doom Patrol's was. And their headquarters was a bunker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how the heck they get down there?
Right. But that's true. That's very true. That could be a case of Wade not realizing that.
Yeah.
By the way, have you guys talked about did the solicit for new history?
No, we haven't got to that yet. Here's another book by Mark Waid. I think this is like, oh my gosh, with Flash joining. You know Mark Waid's doing Flash?
Yep. Perfect. And it's more impulse focused. I'm just worried about Cantwell. The only reason why I'm having some hope is that, like has been proven countless times the past few years, DC will keep a leash mostly on these Marvel writers and have them actually get good stories out of them, as opposed to saying, do whatever, like Marvel does.
Yeah. And fun fact, I've actually met Mark Waid.
Oh, yep, so have I. I met him in person. I've had him on my shows 3 times, and I'm going to meet him again in a couple of months.
Yeah, I actually met him back in 2015. It was just prior to his All New All Different Avengers book coming out with Alex Ross doing the covers for that book.
I met him not long after Man of Steel came out, so he was still fuming.
Yeah, and I know the fact that some people describe him as a dick, but he was quite nice to me.
Yeah, I agree. It's like he can be the nice. Oh boy, he knows how to rein it in around fans.
Yeah, but when it comes to comics, he clearly respects the characters he writes.
Oh, for the most part, yes. There might be a few he doesn't. Dr. Doom. I'm sorry, that's one thing I don't forgive him for. Is Dr. Doom in his Fantastic Four run.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
That was right up there with what Morrison did with Magneto. Both of them just ignored everything done, ironically, during the Byrne Claremont stuff. Byrne mostly stuff.
The whole thing of like, when Doom kind of joined the good side, that was something that Hickman did.
No, I'm talking about during how he ignored and waited. He said, Doom is not noble. He will kill even his loved one to gain power, because he hated he just wants power so he can get his mother back from Mephisto. He hated, so he slaughtered and then turned her skin into magical leather so he can get a power boost.
Yeah, that sounds gross.
Yeah, that's how Wade wanted to make him so inexcusably evil. At least with Morrison, he was just ignorant.
Yes. And this is on their Wade book, Batman and Robin.
Yep, that's wrapping up.
Not to be confused with Robin and Batman. That's focused more on Jason's tenure.
Yep.
But when we get to that book, I feel like they're making Jason a twat in that book to further absolve Bruce of the events leading up to Bosnia.
I don't like that. I agree with Pika on this one. It's funny. The thing is, Tim and Jason had legit reasons to pull the stunt he did. It's just that because of his mom, he was emotionally compromised. But because they rarely bring up his mom, they have since simplified it to, and rather than make it be it's justified, it had to be, he's the stupid Robin who just got in over his head.
Mm-hmm.
I am so tired of that.
Yeah, and also, this book is probably by far the first book to have the title of Year One and actually last 12 issues.
Agreed.
Yep, thereabout. I will say, if Wade told me this was done specifically for Samedi, the artist.
Which
This was,
I know this is one of. I think this was the third book they worked on together. They worked on
Yep.
Daredevil, Black Widow, and this book.
yep, and this was done specifically for him. He asked, "What do you want to do?" I want to do Batman and Robin in the early days.
Pretty much.
Yep. Yeah. The War of Gotham reached the doorstep of Wayne Manor as Dick Grayson is ripped from Bruce and Alfred. At the figure it shows care is unsafe for the young world. Ward, but it takes Bruce and Batman to Dick Grayson in the future of Gotham City. This plot is a retread.
True.
Yeah. Because Gotham Knight did this. This was the ongoing series Gotham Knight. There was a whole issue dedicated to this. Heck, there was a story about this in the Golden Age.
True. I think it's more focused on the Golden Age story, and he has redone Golden Age stories or concepts. I mean, look at his Phantom Zone story.
True. Yes.
He's done that.
He brought Mon-El into continuity in that one.
Well, he's been brought back multiple times, to be fair.
At
But
least
I think this is more of a present day version of him.
Well, it was more. No, that was even done even beforehand during New Krypton and Jeff Johns' tenure.
I mean, in continuity, that is.
Well, no, I get that. I think this is just a case of just saying where he's been currently. I don't think this is like the first time Superman's met up with him since. They didn't write it like that. They just wrote it like, "What are you doing disguising yourself as the Phantom King?"
Oh, look, it's Brainiac.
Mm-hmm.
World's Finest, I am surprised this book has gone on for as long as it did. This was one of the titular books not during Dawn of DC, and it has carried strong for almost 5 years straight.
And even when Moira left, you would have thought it would have plummeted.
And of course, Don Moria, who had been on the book for quite some time. I think he stopped being the regular artist with issue like 30. I think it was.
Yep, and he is coming back for an arc. Seriously, the guy is you know what Wade told me his average page count is a day? At his best, on a good day, 6 pages a day.
Really? And he's artist of 2 books, Superman and Justice League Unlimited.
Transformers soon.
Yeah.
I think he's gotten so many books in the can that he's so far ahead.
And here's a fun fact. Guess which book put him on the map?
Once in Future?
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, right. I gotta say, I love the Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers artwork for the second mini. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It's so wrong to see hot Rita. It is just so wrong.
Yeah. Especially since the actress who played her originally was in her 50s when she played the character back in the early 90s.
I know. Now, granted,
Thanks, Robert. I'm not going to be able to unsee that for the long time.
Whoa. To be fair, she in Power Rangers itself, she was de-aged.
To an extent, but not by that much.
Well, obviously, it was done to be fair, who knows how her body looks underneath all that outfit when she was de-aged? And given how Carla Perez looks,
Moroku Sanga, the one who played her in the original Japanese footage. Thing is, she's Japanese. In Japanese, some reason, and if you see this with some Japanese wrestlers, they still look good even by their 50s.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And here's a good example of this: Asuka is 43, and she looks really good for 43.
Yep.
True.
Dark Patterns, probably by far one of Batman's best books ever. This book is so good.
Wait a minute. Why is Kevin asking about Last Ronin? That's Dan Moore didn't work on that.
No. That was something. Boone Studios did distribute that run for TMNT briefly, but no, Dan Moore had nothing to do with the art.
Yeah.
Wait, Boom.
Yeah, Wade. I heard Wade at one point was editor-in-chief of Boom.
Very early.
Briefly.
Not currently.
No.
Yeah.
He was barely there a year.
Yeah,
but it was enough to get some things off the ground. He then just left because things were just too tumultuous.
Yeah. Robert, have you read Dark Patterns?
Yes. I think it's all right.
I think it's amazing. I love the art of this book.
Yep. I love its mini arcs. I love that it's mini arcs. Sorry, I would say I love its mini arcs.
I think it's ongoing-ish, but it takes.
Is it?
I think so because I thought it ended by issue 6, but
no, 12. It's 12. It was 12 issues.
But I've been enjoying this book. I love all the artwork for it. It's like I'm thinking the reason why DC still publishes it because I think this is actually a good seller for them.
Yeah. Oh no. It is a 12-issue maxi series, so it's going to end at 12.
I'm hoping they do more because this book is so good.
Yeah, but I think Waters only has this, these 4 arcs or 3 arcs.
Yes.
But yep.
Which I believe this is the same artist who does episode Wonder Woman.
No, that's Fear.
No.
That's
I know this person does one of the episode books. The artist for that one.
Yep, Tevya, we brought up Power Rangers first because of Dan Moore, and then I brought up how he did the second Power Rangers Ninja Turtles crossover.
Yeah, and they tease a third one at the end of the second miniseries.
Which they are working on.
Yeah, I don't think it's out yet.
No, it's not. In fact, it was revealed at one of those foreign comic conventions.
Weird that they do it outside the country instead of doing it here.
Well, to be fair, it was more of a case of I think they probably thought no one's going to reveal it. Not with social media idiots.
Yeah, a mysterious arsonist is secretly the growth of Gotham and Batman from the shadows. Now their dark design is into its final stage. Will this grand work be a success, or the world's greatest detective douse the blazing plot before it's too late?
Interesting. Oh, okay. I am so glad this is wrapping up. And I mean that in a good way. To finally see it end.
Here's the thing. I met Loeb, cool guy. Yep. I never met Tim Sale.
I did. I have. I've met both. I met Loeb recently, and I met Sale years ago. But yeah, such a nice guy.
Yeah, it was a Comic-Con. It was at the 2021 Make Orlando. I think it was 2022 Make Orlando. He was going to be there, but he canceled. And not long after, they passed away.
Oh, you know what? The same thing happened to me. It was, well, not the same thing, but similar thing happened to me. I met Michael Turner, and then the very next year, he passed away. Same thing happened to McDuffie in that regard.
Yeah.
See it. Why does in this variant cover? Why does Two-Face look like Black Mask?
Hold on, let me look.
Sure. The only comic creators I met beside that, actually, who I have met since passed away, one was Bernie Wrightstein. I met him before he passed away. And I met Peter Giles.
Peter Giles.
Yeah, he did run for Defenders back in the 80s.
Yes. I know who he is.
I met him before he passed away. I have met Peter David.
Yeah, I met him once long ago.
I've seen him twice. Both at Tampa Comic Con. Last I saw him was actually back in 2019.
Yep, and I also met, I forget his name. He's the guy who drew Flashpoint and Kid Flash.
I don't think I met him.
Yeah, I met him, and he passed away from he had a brain tumor.
I had one artist I met who said this passed away was Neil Adams.
Oh yeah, Neil. Yep, I met him. I met him a couple of times and had him sign. If I had one book from, sorry.
I've seen this many times at Comic Con. 6.
Oh, yep. That's about many times I saw him because he kept coming to Motor City quite frequently. But I only had him sign one thing, and of course it was the deluxe edition of Superman versus Muhammad Ali. Yeah,
I think it's just I got him signed Showcase Presents Phantom Stranger because he did all the covers for that book. And he did one of the interiors. Batman Odyssey, I just haven't signed Dead Man, which he did. Batman Illustrated, which his wife thought I actually bought it from their booth. Because he was going to be double charged me to sign it, but I had to play to her. I actually brought this from home. I also got him to sign the one-shots for Man-Bat and Raza.
I think you mean Starlin, Tevya.
Actually, I'm going to see Jim Starlin at Tampa Comic Con next week.
Nice. Yeah, I've met him a couple of times. Really good guy. You know what? The one creator I've met, but I always seem to catch him on a bad day. Claremont.
I never met Chris Claremont. I've seen him, but
Oh, he had been a dick.
yeah, the comic like I was having Comic Con. They had the weird thing was the rule of this booth that he was at, because there's a comic store with it too. You have to buy a comic from the actual booth instead of bringing a book with you like I normally would.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, it was for him. I thought it was so stupid, so I just left.
Yeah, that is beyond stupid. I bet you they overcharged.
Yeah, I was gonna get like a rogue book for the sign. Nope, they rather do that. I did meet Art Adams, one of my last Comic Cons I went to. Cool guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's Guardian Wars.
Wait. Who did you meet?
Art Adams.
He's still doing cons.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought you said one of the last one because he was at Motor City recently with Lowe.
I'm at Make Orlando this year.
All right. Oh.
I'll tell you this: the hard includes the Batman, the long last Halloween. Don't miss it.
Yep, and you know why they have the long name? Because they decided to make it a brand. So it's going to from now on, all the books are going to be Batman: The Long Halloween, Catwoman: When in Rome, Batman: The Long Halloween, Dark Victory.
Yeah,
because people have always been confused that they're connected, and I'm like, you have a point there.
The Flash issue 25, though, I want to say Flash 26 is Simon Spurrier's last issue.
Oh no, 25 is.
25 is the last issue because Mark Wright takes the next issue. Now, I don't hate Simon Spurrier's writing. I've read some other books that he worked on. He did one for X-Force. He did X-Men Legacy when Legion was in the book. He created the character Forget Me Not.
Mm-hmm.
It just some of his DC work is not been as good as his Marvel work, sadly.
I will say this. I at least give him props for trying the course correct after that first arc. It just wasn't good.
Yeah. Finale for Batman Rising, and you would think, final issue of his run, double size. Nope, regular size issue.
And here's the other thing. The fact is, I bet you they were banking, and they decided to see, okay, we're going to do this event. If the first issue doesn't sell, it doesn't pre-order well, you're off. Because this felt like a last-ditch effort, making this, giving him marketing space at every ad space and all that. This felt like a last-ditch effort.
Yeah. Oh, Robert, I actually subscribed to your YouTube channel.
Thank you very much. Yep.
Both of these gentlemen, they're great co-hosts.
Mm-hmm. But what do you think about that, Jay? Do you think that was probably what happened?
More than likely, because that first art was atrocious.
Yeah, because I'm talking about the this arc that he's wrapping up on. Clearly, they gave him ad space, hope as a last-ditch effort to see if it'll raise numbers. It didn't, so they're ending it.
Yeah. I think it was a Beast War. I think this happened where you had Jay on date with this red hair woman with curls.
Animal Man's. I want to say it's his daughter or daughter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, thing is, I didn't know this was Maxine. It looked like some random teenage girl that he was on date with. And the only way I know this was Maxine was when, basically Jay's sister Irie called her bestie. That's what I knew was Maxine.
Yep.
And this was actually a Beast World issue for
I gotta say, Maxine is definitely a character. I am glad Jeff Lemire, reminded us how important she was, and actually giving her such promise that other writers have kept using her. All I think is because Adams reminded people too.
True.
Oh, have you guys talked? Have you gotten to that's Green Lantern earlier, or is it coming up?
We passed Green Lantern within the first couple of minutes. This is the September solicitations.
You're still in September?
Yeah, September.
Yeah. We actually missed them on for solicitations.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
It's taking you this long to get through that.
Yeah.
How long do you think this is gonna go?
We're probably gonna call it in the next 10 minutes and then split this up into part 2. Hopefully, Robert, you can join us for then as well.
I will. I'm sorry. When you said this, yeah.
Because if you go through all of our solicitation video, we finished the article roughly at the 2-hour mark.
Yeah.
I think we're just at the halfway point.
I just want to bring about Adam's Green Lantern. It has been so good.
Yes.
Yes.
It is the best it's been since Vendetti and Jensen
Mm-hmm.
and Jeff Johns. But I keep include because they continued on where he left off. I still count them as part of the Jeff Johns era because of that. It wasn't until Morrison that they went completely separate.
Yeah, Morrison was interesting, but I love the artwork that the book had under Liam Sharp.
Yep, and I'll say this: Jeffrey Thorne, I call that editorial mandate the comic.
Yeah,
Because so much of it, he barely got any ideas he wanted.
and focus on Green Lantern too much.
Yep. And yet Adams has done much better with getting her, adjusted.
Yeah, and here's the
Simon
weird thing.
too.
Thorne later did the most recent volume for X-Force.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
when the book got canceled, he did not know until like last minute.
he keeps getting. He's one of those writers that keeps getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
Bad Moon Rising finale. With the Earth plunging into total darkness, all seem lost as Eclipse has turned the moon into its engine of despair. But Jay, Wes, and one of the Flash copies have a last-ditch plan in mind, and that involves the West family dog. It all comes down to this explosive final chapter of Bad Moon Rising.
Again, you could tell Cy was trying to adjust. He was trying. But he's just not a traditional superhero writer.
Yeah,
he's more of a horror type.
Yeah, I like ways. I would have picked a different writer. I would not take up Jeremy Adams in the book. I met Jeremy Adams, cool guy. I told him that fans were not happy to take off the book for Flash. He was also upset too with that.
I know he was. And the thing is, it's because the sales were too little, too late. By the time they pulled the trigger.
Despite the fact the book was actually really good under him.
Nope, but it started poorly, unfortunately, because of the Future State mini, two-parter.
Yeah, I think just before he came on board, there was this brief story arc that featured Dr. Alchemy, and that was actually really good. He didn't write it, but I really enjoyed that story with Dr. Alchemy. It was the bridging gap between Williamson and Jeremy Adams run.
Yep, and that was a good one. But like I said, the Future State arc put it people thought, oh, is this who's doing it? It's like, no, he had nothing to do. And people kept saying he had nothing to do with it. It took way too long for the damage to get reversed.
Yep.
It took, by the time the damage was completely gone, it's when the trigger was pulled to put Psy on.
Yeah. So now we have Green Arrow here by Chris Ken. I dropped it. Prior to come on, I had never heard of this writer. It's okay. I miss Josh Williamson in this book.
Mm-hmm.
I can respect the Robin Hood aesthetic. I'm just not a fan of the cape.
Yeah, and I dropped it as soon as Williamson left. One, I had to drop a book. I had to. But two, I liked what Williamson was doing, emphasizing and fixing Ollie in a way that had been needing a long time. And then you have this come on. It just feels like too drastic of a different direction. It is similar, still better written and handled, but still similar to going from Adams to Cy.
Do you know why Josh Williamson left this book for Green Arrow?
He had too many other things going on.
Burnout.
That's what I thought. Yeah, burnout.
It was this book and Batman and Robin. He left both. He kind of left these two books, and now he's just doing Superman. He does Transformers,
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, and I think that's it.
No, he doesn't do Transformers. That's Daniel Warren Johnson and then soon Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does G.I. Joe, and I think he does another indie book.
Yeah, but I think that's it. But the addictive. Okay, now here's another Jerry Adams book.
Now we're on Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah, surprisingly, I did hear this book has not been selling very well.
No.
That's unfortunate, but it's good.
Yeah, and it's written by Jeremy Adams, but I think this is more Morgan Hampton's book than Jeremy Adams.
I tell. I can't tell.
Yeah. I like that third variant cover featuring Joe and Jessica Cruz. Joe is a character I think people don't hate. Jessica Cruz is a Jeff Johns character who it seems like because she's created by a popular creator, it seems like most writers don't want to use her at all for some reason.
No, and not that I've noticed. For one, DC keeps on forcing Jessica on other shows, and people have done wonders with her. And you could tell they made her the leader of the Lantern Corps, at least the Solic position.
Yes.
So
Joe is something else. Yeah, she's a far sector Lantern, but she's not a Lantern people have. I never heard any complaints about her. Nothing really negative related to her at all.
More indifference than anything.
Well, to be fair, initially they did until when they try to say she's the greatest detective in the whole universe during Future State, but they dropped that quickly, and then no one's thought about it since.
And look, there's Simon Boz on that second variant cover. He's a character who I think creators forget he exists.
Unfortunately, okay, I know Jared brings it up, but I gotta bring it up. You know about that Batman Ninja, the second one, right?
Yeah, Yakuza.
Jay, you know where I'm going with this.
I know where you're going with this.
Yep, they told the creator to do Jessica, use Jessica. He looked into it, and then he thought, oh, the Simon guy is her sidekick. And then he put a little toy attachment to her to be like a reference to Simon. But I think it's because here's the problem. Simon was a plot device. He had no characterization at all. He was used so that Jeff could have a backdoor to bring Hal and Sinestro back.
Yeah, and here's the weird thing related to Simon. His ring was not originally his. It was Sinestro's.
Yeah, Sinestro and Hal's merged.
Yeah, and the thing is, Sinestro never took his ring back. I think it was briefly he was back with the Corps, and then he was back to yellow. Now he's red for some random reason.
And no, he's green again.
Yeah, I don't get why he is red. It's not explained.
It is explained. The emotional spectrum is in turmoil. It's been a lot of craziness going on, and people are getting rings. New emotions are coming. People are getting emotions that they don't normally connect to. In the case of Sinestro, sorry, what?
On the cover for Green Lantern Corps, the main one looks like the one far left. That looks like the Red Lantern Corps.
It is. This was setting up a crossover between Green Lantern Corps and Green Lantern with the Starbreaker supremacy. Actually, Shira Hall, they actually adapted John and Shira's relationship in the DCAU in this series. And
they've given her from the cartoon series her physical form. Technically, she was brought back during War of the Green Lanterns as the AI, and they brought in the cabbie.
Yeah, Space Cabbie. I've actually met one of the artists for War of the Green Lantern. I think it was Kirkham. I actually bought the book for him to sign. War of the Green Lanterns. Excellent crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff and Tomasi did an excellent job with that story. It's a shame no one brings up much anymore.
To be fair, I feel Jeff was. I'm not saying it was bad, the stuff after Blackest Night, but you could tell that that was around the point where he gave up a lot of his earlier plot points and decided to go different directions.
He peaked after Blackest Night.
And I think that everything from War of the Green Lantern onward was done specifically so he can give us the Guardians go nuts. And that's the one downside I gotta say about Adam's run. He brought back the Guardians and has hardly done anything with them. They're all wearing the different color rings in their uniforms, and they haven't explained it at all.
Yes. Oh, look, it's Big Barda. I think this is another book she's featured besides Birds of Prey.
New Gods, number 10.
New Gods.
Now, I did tweet Randy for this book come out. He says he basically said he's going to keep the spirit of Jack Kirby because he loves Jack Kirby. Yeah, he actually did. He did say he didn't lie. That he was keep the Jack Kirby with this book. He has, which God is it for that.
What I like about it is it's a middle ground between his pretentiousness and his greatness.
And look at this. Kamala has been kidnapped, stolen away from the protection of New Gods and the Justice League. The child is now in possession of Maxwell Lord. But what does Lord tend to do with newest God's seemingly unlimited power? Can the heroes, DCU, and the refugees in the fourth world say Camille before it's too late? I only reason I think they include Max Lord here because he's featured in Superman.
Synergy purposes. That's the only reason Maxwell Lord.
Yeah. This was one of the important books.
Yep, and this is main Green Lantern.
Yep.
I gotta say, the Starbreaker thing again, utilizing an older villain that hadn't been used and properly in the book he was created for in a while.
I think he was originally a Green Lantern, though, wasn't he?
He was, and then he was utilized like they started making him uber powerful. He started appearing randomly, like in Adam Strange or in McDuffie's Justice League. Where I think that was when it was revealed. McDuffie's the one who revealed he's an adult sun eater. It wasn't established until that point, and that's stuck ever since.
Here's the weird thing to the Starbreaker issues that later on for that book. For Law for Volume 2 for Justice League, that's not in trade.
You mean the McDuffie stuff? Yeah.
Some of that and some of the Lean Ween issues that feature that feature Return of the Royal Flush Gang and the Creator. Was not in trade either. But after that, that's all in trade. Yeah, DC, that person, they love skipping issues.
To be fair, that Len Wein stuff was just a two-parter. They don't always, unless they needed to fill a trade, they don't include all those filler issues.
And they haven't done a new printing of that book in years.
Unfortunately. But hey, for me, like I said, I own all the issues.
Outside of ensemble books, have they ever done anything really with Teen Lantern since Young Justice?
No, she mostly had been in the Green Lantern books. Again, you had Jeffrey Soren trying to do something with her, and now you're having Adams do stuff. And Adams, I will say this, it surprised me in the Green Lantern Corps issue. For a moment, they made us think her origin was a lie, which, for the record, she didn't hack the ring. She was showboating them, trying to impress the Young Justice. What?
I see Kyle Rand in this main cover in his. I think that was his. I think Austin debut in the early 2000s. Correct?
Yeah, they keep going. They keep rotating his outfits. He's back in his original outfit. He's in his regular Green Lantern. He's a White Lantern again. They keep rotating.
Yeah, and look at how same outfit with the exception of his time period in Justice League. He mostly has kept the same outfit for decades.
For all intents and purposes, Kyle is a Hal post Silver Age or Hal Jordan replacement. There are a few differences here and there, but there's not. But outside of like him being an artist, so he has maximum creativity and imagination. But other than that, there's not that many differences between Kyle and Hal.
I say there is. He's definitely not as. He doesn't have the same arrogance as Hal. He has his own arrogance, but it's different. And he's more likely to actually let things overwhelm him than Hal.
Plus, Kyle's more of a horn dog than Hal is.
Oh, yeah. But how many girlfriends?
Definitely so.
Yeah, but come on. Jade and Donna and Sornik were three of his girlfriends that I have noticed no one's argued which one is his true love.
I've heard that the Donna Troy one was forced.
Yes. It wasn't. No. It was forced to break up, not forced on him to do.
Two words, Robert. Countdown.
No. This was before Countdown.
Okay.
Their romance was before it during Judd Winnick's run, and then they were forced to break it up because of Byrne. Byrne said, "You can't use her anymore. I have exclusivity to her." So they had to break him up.
Yeah, and then he basically decided to have her ex-husband, her son, and her stepdaughter get killed in a car crash.
Yep, and then do the Dark Angel stuff.
Yes.
And then Judd decided, okay, I'll put her. It was either Judd or Ron, but either way, they decided, okay, I'll put her with Jade then. And that lasted until being on and off a bit until Infinite Crisis, when she died.
Well, Donna died before Infinite Crisis.
No. I was talking about Jade. Their relationship ended when she died.
And then she came back. I think during Blackest Night.
Yep, during Blackest Night, and then that's through. But then by that point, he was with Sornik, mostly because she loved him and was showed a vision from the Star Sapphires. He saw Jade, but of course he's not going to just tell. But Jade was dead, so it's like, I'll get over her, and I'll. Yeah, she loves me. Who am I to say no?
Yeah, and Sornak is not featured in the comics anymore, sadly.
Unfortunately, they dropped her, and that's so sad. Mostly because they don't do much with the Sinestro Corps as a whole anymore. I think they've implied she's still ruling it.
Venditti who did that.
What?
Venditti's one who dropped her.
Well, for the most part, I think he always intended to get back. Things got sidelined, and then of course Morrison then did his thing, and then no one's gone back. So I don't think Venditti did it intentionally. She's just been stuck with the Sinestro Corps.
Yeah, which they've like you said, they've done practically nothing with them.
They almost did stuff when they made Jessica one, and then they dropped that fast, and she got her green ring off screen.
Yes. Now this Aquaman book is amazing by Jeremy Adams.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and prior to this book coming back, I missed this book because the last regular writer, there was the Brandon Thomas Aquaman book, but the last time it was ongoing was when Kelly Sue Honig wrote the book. And
the only good thing about that was giving us Andy.
And also finally marrying Aquaman and Mira, finally.
Oh, yeah, finally, after the deal left.
They teased it. And then finally they did it because apparently prior to this happening, Jeff Johns wrote it in the Aquaman book that Aquaman and Mira were married until Dan DiDio said none of our superheroes married except for Animal-Man.
Yep, and that was because he was married before he was married when he was introduced.
Yeah, that was.
So it's like you can't. It's like, he was the only one. Yeah, technically he's the only DC hero to have been, to have been married and not get de-aged like some of the JSA would. When he was introduced, most of them got married after their heyday.
I think of all the founding members of Justice League, he is one of 3 who officially got married, and one of a few who actually have children.
Yep.
Because you have him, Superman, Wonder Woman now, and Batman.
Batman's not married. Yep.
He's not married.
Flash.
Yeah, Flash is married. He has kids. Well,
or he will in Barry's case.
Yes, I think like the only family member who's never married is Hal, because Martian Manhunter was married. Because it was mentioned in his flashback, he was married, but his family died.
Yep, they keep teasing for Hal to eventually get married. At least Adams has finally put it to rest. It's Hal and Carol. Period. End of story. Case closed.
Jeff Johns do it, but I think someone DC said no.
Am I the only one who's annoyed we had to go through that whole rebound arc and the creation of the Simp Lantern?
Well, he's still around. That's the lantern that Starbreaker's been using.
Tivia, Jon Stewart has got married.
Oh yeah, and then she died.
Yeah, she got killed by crazy Carol Ferris. Number 1.
Well, to be fair, then it was later made clear that was more Sapphire possessing her entirely.
Yeah, it was Predator.
Yep.
That was the name of the thing. Which Predator, for some reason, if you see him, like that emotional entity, it takes form of a guy in armor.
Well, that's because he was introduced as a guy in armor.
Yeah.
He was introduced in the 90s. They just decided then to have he's their representative.
A guy.
Probably for an Adam to the Sapphire's Eve.
Yeah. The Injustice Society has them on the ropes. Jason the ropes. And Wotan has got a great plan releasing on the unnamed ones one step closer to reality. But they forget one thing. The JC is not a team. It's a family.
I've been enjoying this run pretty well. It's not as great as Jeff's stuff, but it's Lemire.
Yes.
Mr. Terrific Year 1, issue number 5. This is likely for synergy purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the team up with Black Lightning.
Yep.
I'm surprised this got a sequel, honest to God. I thought this was some leftover DCYOU.
I think the only reason why they did it was because it was too priceless not to do something about the 2 swapping powers.
Yeah.
At least DC has given the smarts to not try and pair these two, have someone ship these two, and derail things like what the Hawk Girl writer years ago almost did.
They tried it, but that was more so Fire being protective of Ice with Guy Gardner.
That's always been there.
Yeah, but Guy Gardner's kind of a blowhard, but he's not a bona fide douchebag most of the time.
If you want to pick a better writer, if you don't like Jonas Starr, you can always have Jay Matias write the book because he technically developed a friendship over the course of the time with the JLI.
Oh, and yeah, and it is one of the their pairing is such a great one. And yet at the same time, if you look on the surface, you're like, what do you see on him? He's a meathead. That's him. And so she's like, I don't love that guy. I love the real guy that he hides.
Yep. I really like this variant cover they have here where it has Beatrice in her pre-Flashpoint costume.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Oh, new history. I've been enjoying this, and I'm grateful we're getting, in the books, we get the normal stuff, but then we have the stuff at the ancillary stuff at the end that gets into more finer details.
Mm-hmm.
What have you guys been thinking about it?
I'm so far only issue.
I think I
one
read
is
the
out.
first issue for it.
Well, that's the only one out so far.
Yeah, issue 2 is going to come out at the end of this month. The beginning of it's a monthly.
Yep. Yep.
I met Tony S. Daniel.
I have too a couple of times. In fact, get this. I once had him sign, back when he was doing for free, one of my Teen Titans trades. But because it had the glossiness on the cover, it eventually, and he used a silver marker, it practically got wiped away. But it was barely there.
Whenever I have creators sign trades, I haven't signed the inside of the cover.
I didn't know at the time. But then by the time I saw him again, he was charging it. I showed him it, explained to him. He's like, I'll do it for free. He did it for free because it's like, I did it once, I'll do it a second time.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciated that he was willing to do that because he's like, even he was like, I don't know what I was thinking using silver. Because silver is the most easily to wipe off.
Yep.
But
I think this is. Oh, I know this book. This is sequel to Batman First Night.
Yep.
I'm excited for this. I really like that first one.
And it's a 3-issue miniseries written by Dan Jurgen, art and interiors by Mike Perkins.
Yep, same team.
Yep, same team.
And I met both.
Yep.
These guys. This is a very mature book. The first one.
It's Black Label, yeah.
And plus, it featured Batman with his first love, not his legal aunt,
no,
Julie Madison.
Yep. People have to remember that was his first love. She just didn't amount to much.
Yeah, she broke up with him because she couldn't keep up with his Playboy lifestyle.
Oh, and then don't get me started on one of the few downsides I have for the Bad Moon Rising duology, where they had it be, she hated him because he indirectly, through no act of his own, pushed her father to get himself killed. That was
are we talking about Flash? Or are we talking about the Batman book?
Oh no, I was talking about Mad Monk. That's called Bad Moon Rising. That was Mad Monk and Monster Man. It was called the Bad Moon Rising
that was
duology.
Matt Wagner wrote that, Robert.
Yeah, I know. I went over that with most of those with Pika and Pika Shades on my show. And yeah, that's the case where like we enjoyed it to a point, but then we're like the Julie stuff just felt like, ugh. It was railroading to the end.
Okay,
Still a better romance than the one in Batman Year 2.
Yes. I'm not familiar with W. Maxwell Prince.
W. Maxwell Prince.
Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum.
I don't know either. I don't know what they've done.
$5.99 for 32 pages. Damn, that's expensive.
Yeah, but it's a experimental book, I think.
All right, Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma, issue number 6.
I'm kind of glad Resurrection Man's been getting more prominence lately.
Okay.
Sorry.
Here's the thing. Guess who created this guy?
Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning.
Yep.
And they brought him back to do the new 52 version.
Yep.
But radically different. The original one, apparently, according to new history, is the brother of Vandal Savage.
Really?
He is.
Both of them exposed to the meteorite, but having things differently. Vandal has complete immortality, keeps himself, no being reborn necessary. Resurrection Man, of course, has the reborn stuff.
Yep.
The Immortal Legend Batman. I want to say this is an Elseworld story.
And Moore's working on this one too.
Yeah, but at least he's got a collaborator.
Mm-hmm. Now, and the fact is, the one thing I'm not liking about this Gotham by Gaslight is Batman hardly factors into it. And it completely ignores what Morrison established in Multiversity by having it be the Wonder Woman is supposed to be Amazonia Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I am, and it doesn't feel like it's in the same setting anymore. The Victorian era. It doesn't feel Victorian. It feels more just like early 20th century.
Early 19th century.
19th century, I meant. But it doesn't feel Victorian.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, we're not focusing on the steam, and it doesn't even feel steampunk at all. And I like Andy Diggle's writing. I don't get what he's trying to do with this. What do you guys think?
It definitely doesn't. It definitely feels like it's trying to do its own thing. I will give you that.
Yeah, it feels like they're trying to. Oh yeah, that's the Tom Taylor. Is it in continuity?
I think it's its own thing. I want to say, but it is $3.99.
Yeah, wow, look at that. 40 pages for $3.99. That's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought this was $5.
Yeah, Children of the Round Table. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like its own little children's adventure. Nothing wrong with that.
Wait. With the evil. Wait, go back. I'm trying to read that last part. The evil. Is that Mordred?
Yep, Mordred.
Then it ties in. If it's Mordred,
I think he's a isn't Mordred Etrigan demon villain?
He's a magic villain and a Legion villain.
Zatanna.
DC's Zatanna Panic.
I guess they can't know Satanic Panic.
Yeah. I guess it's all about. Oh my gosh, 80 freaking pages.
It's one of their anthologies.
All about Zatanna.
I gotta say, the fact that Zatanna has been doing so well lately. The 2 different minis that have sold very well.
Yep.
I
don't think this year's anniversary, is it?
What? No.
I don't think it's...
No. They only did because they did the Black Label book with Mariko Tamaki. That states surprisingly well. All 5 issues were in the top 10. And this was at some of their peak levels. It made it up there. So people really want Zatanna, and then we have the current book going.
It makes you wonder why can't do an ongoing.
I think they're trying. I think they want. That's why they did the second mini to try and see was it a fluke? And apparently this one has still been doing really well.
Well, they've had an ongoing before, except it ended 14 years ago.
Yep. In fact, this current mini, it seems like it's a follow-up to the Paul Dini run.
Yeah, Paul Dini didn't write all the issues. It was written by other writers too.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that main run that he had done, because it deals with what's his name, brother something, that demon guy.
So good. That ongoing for Zatanna was so good.
Oh, it was.
16. DC has collected those new trade payback for released a couple years ago, and it's still being sold.
And I gotta say, one of the things I liked was the backup story that shows Zatanna younger, drawn by Jamal Igle, and it was her with braces, and she could barely talk, has all the spit coming out, and all that stuff. But she has there's a robbery going on at a mall. She tries to use the speaking spell to have her braces turn into a prison for it. And at the very beginning, she tries to eat a taco, hard shell taco with the braces, hurts like hell. So, of course, we're going to have to spend all this money to put new braces on. Can I? Okay, 1 taco. Basically, because, she ruined the braces to trap the guy.
Yep.
So it's okay, and I love how it's sweetie, you're not committed. It's that whole kid looking at braces like they're being committed.
Yep. I think we're almost done, Jay, with the
we're now into the facsimiles finally.
Yeah, Jay, I think after December, I think we probably have to call it night because it's almost midnight.
I agree. Batman 635. This was the debut of Red Hood.
What do you guys think about the writer on the Red Hood book and their stupidity comments?
Jug Winnick.
No. The upcoming mini.
Oh, I haven't paid attention.
Yeah.
For one, one of those very left-leaning type of people. That's one thing. But two, they've said they don't care about content. They're not even looking anything up. They're doing whatever they want to do.
Hold on, is Absolute Martian Manhunter still active, or was that book canceled?
No. It's 12 issues, but at 6, they're putting it on pause because the original was supposed to be 6 issues. But because the first issue did so well, they expanded it. And I think they're also going to start to pick it up after, like in December, they said.
Okay, they wrapped up the original 6 issues, and they're going to push it back next year. Okay.
Yep, and hopefully you'll have much more coherentness.
We are yesterday crossover and trade paperback already. That event like just wrapped up.
Last month, yes. I gotta say, DC has gotten so much better at trades than Marvel, except the omnibuses. Marvel still dominates the omnibuses.
Marvel charges too much for the omnibuses.
I would argue that given the amount of books they put in, they do seem to adjust it properly for the amount in it.
Like I would say, Marvel does really well with the epic collections.
True, and from what I've heard, their attempts at competing against the compact books has been self-sabotage because they're being forced to do it, and they don't want to do it. That's why they overcharge them.
Yeah, I think DC has equivalent to Epic Collection, which is DC's finest.
Oh, that's been good. That's been really good too. But I'm talking about the other compacts. From what I've heard, Marvel's doing the division does trades have been forced to do their own version. They are basically like revolting. That's why they overcharge it, because they want it to fail, because they think it's stupid.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, then you guys are the dumb ones.
Dean was in charge of the initiative for DC's finest.
Who?
Mark Waid.
What? Why do I have a feeling he's the one who suggested the year dates on the side?
Yeah, I heard about this interview he did with Near Mid Condition.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was during launch day of the first trades, which apparently they launched like, what was it? They launched like 10 trades in the first wave.
Yeah, and one of them was Batman Year 1 and Year 2 combined.
Yep. And recently they just released Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
Podcast for people. Wait, did they release the podcast or season 2?
No, season 2 is not out yet. Season 2 is not out yet.
Okay.
That's not till August. That's not till August.
Okay. And this is the trade paperback for Robin and Batman, Jason Todd. Wait, that wrapped up relatively quickly.
Yeah.
But
did you know that CM Punk referenced Peacemaker in his rap promo, Punkonomics? That was funny. It's like he's washing underwear for James Gunn. That was so funny. I loved Punkonomics saying that was so funny. And apparently, Saudi Arabia apparently knew the lyrics to Thugonomics.
Okay, Tevia, again, because they're proudly declaring they don't care about
a third collection of this thing.
Yep,
that's Batman, the third one.
Brave and the Bold across.
Yeah, I don't know why they take so long with these trades for this series. Like the first one came out last year.
Who knows? But I think they're trying to figure out how to divide it.
Because basically, it's like Urban Legends.
Oh, re-release. Yep. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, Brave and the Bold was just a rebrand for Urban Legend. That's really all it was.
But at least it doesn't have a controversial story in it.
I still say Urban Legends started falling apart the moment they started a whole bunch of weak stories all at once. They didn't have one through line, good one that was able to hold it over. They just started a whole bunch of new ones. They all sucked, and it just fell apart.
Yeah.
A new
I own this trade.
Batman RIP.
Yep, I own that too.
Yep, I've never met Grant Morrison, but I love the guy who's working Batman. I heard he's coming back to the Batman soon.
Oh yeah, Batman Deadpool.
Yep.
I really like them.
This is a compact for Our Last Man. I
have the omnibus. I have the omnibus.
Yeah, I was not a fan of this series because this is my opinion, it's overrated. It's not my favorite Brian K. Vaughan book. I love this book. We admit it. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Crisis, because of course you're going to do a re-release for Crisis.
Well, that's why they do. Yeah, the DC events.
Oh my gosh. I think this year is 40 years for this.
Yep.
40 years.
40 years. Because I know that because I was born in 85, so and I'm 40.
I was born in 88.
I'm the youngest on this panel, so I'm not even going to try to argue.
Timmy's younger than all three of us.
But just to answer what Tevya had asked, like I said, it's because they've made it clear they don't care about continuity. They're going to tell the whatever they want to tell.
Oh, Robert, here's the fun fact of Robert Kanigher. Did you know that he was a big mentor for Chuck Dixon?
Wait, who?
Robert Kanigher.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he basically gave him the idea. The way he writes, he got that from Robert Kanigher.
Nice. Another Robert. Cool.
Condemnium for Injustice, for the Injustice Time.
I gotta say, these compendiums have been an interesting idea to do.
Yeah, this is years 4 and 5, and then both the annual and Ground Zero, which was Harley's perspective of the main game.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like I said, I got the Starman compendiums. One of my best buys I've ever had. The Robinson, yeah, one, yeah. Oh yeah, the Gail Simone omnibus.
Yeah, I really wish the recent miniseries for her Secret Six was written by her, not Dreamers Act.
She's been doing a good job though.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't they do a re-release of Super Sons not too long ago?
Yeah. These trades are more for people on more of a budget, compared to the omnibus. Oh, $50? Well, yeah, but the omnibus is like what, 100 something?
I think so.
Yeah, but for 50 you get Super Sons issues 15 to 16, the entire second maxi series, and then the third mini series, plus the John Kent story from the Robin 80th anniversary special, and then from the Halloween special, DC Terrors Through Time.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the last two issues of the first book, the entire second maxi series, and then the mini series.
Yep.
Another trade for Worlds of War. This is the prologue.
Yep. And
It's not an
omnibus.
Yeah,
It's not, but it's also it started off as a Superman event, just through their own books, and then they realized, let's make this a bigger thing, so they made it bigger, and then it just went all over the map.
Yeah, and according to what I read online, apparently this is what caused the Martian Manhunter by Jonathan to end, because he heard a rumor they were going to kill Martian Manhunter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ooh, Warlord Mike Grell. I think this is the first new trade paperback they released of this book in years.
It's been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
36. I think the showcase book I read like the first 24 issues.
The Wake.
Good book.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Okay, re-release for Judas Contract. Okay.
A deluxe edition format.
That is a gorgeous cover.
Who did? Oh, that was a Perez cover.
Yep.
That must have been a variant or something.
Or a trace over, just slightly better colored.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, it collects the whole thing.
Oh,
and that's it.
And by the way, I just gotta say, I will defend the recent Secret Six stuff because the Dreamers, the actress doing the writing, she's been really doing a surprisingly good job for an actress who hasn't had much comic experience. Just like it so surprised me how well Michael Dorn wrote the Steelworks book.
Yep.
But yeah, so I will defend it because it does feel like a follow-up to, it does feel faithful to what Gale had done.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
In my opinion. Especially the stuff between Deadshot and Catman.
Now, I think this is about time to call it. We'll definitely meet, hopefully again next week for the October solicitation. Because if we try to push forward for the second article, we'd be here all night. But But yeah, any final thoughts or on the solicitations or whatever, or what's coming up right now in DC?
Not really.
Okay, Nick, any final thoughts for you?
It was very interesting.
Yep.
Fair enough. I appreciate you all staying up late tonight with us. Anything you guys want to promote? Any upcoming videos?
I've been trying to do some RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business Let's Play on my channel.
Nice. Nick, you also mentioned you being another anime review you recently did. Anything else you got coming up this week?
Well, after finishing up the current series, I'm working on one more anime, and then we'll go back to watching Bubblecop G-Bug.
Okay. And as for me, I'll be meeting with Nick a couple more times throughout the week, and then a pre-recording with Robert. I want to say it was for a Pro versus News episode, but I can't.
Pro teaches noobs. You can say what it is. It's Ninja Turtles Naruto.
All right, thank you. And for my collabs with Nick, it will be the Overlord Sacred Kingdom movie, which I want to say takes place between seasons 3 and 4 around volume 15.
It takes place halfway through season 4.
Halfway through season 4. Okay, thank you. The Sacred Kingdom movie, as well as the Boruto Tubu Vortex Chapter 24 review, though technically we missed chapters 22 and 23 on the channel, so we'll have to review those.
Yeah, well, we can't do... I know you want to do it Thursday, but I got to stream that night. I'm open Saturday.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can set that up right after movie night.
Yep.
If I end up making that, but yeah, we'll find out the details, and then I'll make a final update on my community tab.
Mm-hmm.
But anything else you guys want to mention before we wrap up?
Not really.
Nothing I can think of. I gotta get ready for bed soon.
Same.
Yep.
But thank y'all so much for coming on to the show, everybody. Again, it's a pleasure. Like, comment, and subscribe. Flame off.